deli 2 blocks from, you know.
And they have you at deli, David. There is nothing they can do like get you with deli.
I had
that's
a
a soft spot to your heart right there.
Mark, for dinner last night, I got invited out again by the crew, and they were going someplace really fancy. I said no. I said, what? I said, no, I'm going to the deli 2 blocks down the street. I'm having a pastrami sandwich and a crab cake. And they all went, oh, that sounds better than what we're going to have. And I said, oh, it is.
For a third of the price, yes.
I just, yep. It was tremendous. I look like such trash walking around the Four Seasons. I mean, I really do. I shouldn't even be allowed in here. My room is a balcony. I'm on the 8th floor. I can literally, the harbor's right behind me. It's ridiculous. I think this room is like $600.
You're right there, Ryan. No doubt. And they got whooped. That wasn't even close. There we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floormeister Studios. Floormeisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this Overreaction Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. And as always, we thank you for starting with us. I got to get some business out of the way. How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton. MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. I'm in Baltimore getting ready for, got to admit, looks good on paper. Pretty good game, Lions and Ravens, but we got a whole lot of games to discuss before then. Top of the morning to you, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. Good morning. Good weekend. Solid weekend of football. And you throw a little baseball in. My team is about to pull an epic collapse. Collapse.
Come on now. Don't leave my team out.
Well, but they weren't 15 and a half games in front of their opposition.
No
one in the history of the sport has had this lead, and they are on the verge of blowing it. The big dumper, is he going to get to 60?
Well, he's at 58.
Damn. Damn. So it's had a little fun with friends over the weekend, had some people over on Saturday, so watched some football with them and had a nice weekend. Yesterday was interesting. Baker does it again, ruining maybe the most impressive sideline strut I've seen in years.
Oh, come on. No coach has ever looked better, more cool than Aaron Glenn on the block field goal return for a touchdown. I don't know how you felt. I'm rooting for the Bucs because our life is better when the Dolphins, the Bucs, the Canes, the Gators, the Knowles, when they all win. Our life is better. It's easier as a show. We don't want to talk about Billy Napier and the Gators again. All right, the Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins again. We really don't want to. We'd much rather be upbeat and have fun. But when the Jets block the field goal, the guy hurdles the center legally, blocks the field goal, and they're returning it, and it looks like it could be the game-winning score. Aaron Glenn's first win as a head coach. And then it was like a scene out of a movie. Okay? Hey, do your strut. No, do it again. He nailed it on the first take.
You're damn right he did. It was unbelievably impressive.
Oh.
And all for naught, because when you give Baker Mayfield time in the fourth quarter, apparently it's an automatic W for the Bucs. The walking wounded, they are getting banged up. Mike Evans goes down with a hamstring, and you wonder how long that'll be. After a first quarter, and I know you were doing things and probably busy, but I have never seen a more dreadful first quarter of a football game than what was Bucs and Jets. The Bucs had 5 holding penalties in the first quarter. I think they were all on the first drive.
Were there 11 penalties in the first
quarter? In the first quarter.
I mean, that's close to a game's worth of penalties. It really is. I think the average game early in the season has around 14, and it slowly works its way down in between 11 and 12. But man,
and I mean, a good weekend for the two teams in Florida, at least the Sunday teams, because they both get out with wins. The Jags, congratulations, you won. And, you know, probably I should give them more credit than my voice implies right now, because we all know Houston has been their bugaboo.
Mm-hmm.
But man, oh man, they tried to give that game away. I mean, they really tried to give that game away.
Yeah, and I thought Liam Cohen tried to for the second week in a row as well. Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. Man, I have never felt more old and out of touch. Okay? Not when I'm talking to my daughter, not when I'm talking to my granddaughter. Okay? Not when I'm around younger people at a college. I have never felt more old and out of touch than when I watch football. Because seemingly every fourth down you have to go for, and every field goal you have to pass up. All right? I mean, did you agree? 10-10, 5 minutes to go in the game, the ball at just past midfield for the Jags, 4th and 2. They've made one play, Houston, on offense in 3 hours.
On a blown coverage. On a complete blown coverage. Nico Collins was open by 30 yards on that play. The corner bit, I don't know if he thought he had safety help. I don't know what he was thinking. But after the worst throw of the day by Trevor Lawrence, and by the way, that takes something, because right now, I don't think he's good. Like, I don't even think he's good, David. I watched that game. He is a bottom third quarterback right now.
Well, Mark,
and someone argue it with me, because that guy can't play right now.
Okay, I'll argue it with you for this respect. No one on his team can catch the ball.
No, I know. They had 5 drops. Take all 5 drops and put them as completions, and then look at his number and get back to me.
All right. I think it's listen, he's not a top half quarterback. I will grant you that. But, and I know there's not a whole lot of, once you get to from 16 to 21 there. So, we're arguing a little bit over about 5-6 spots. But man, I sent a text to JP, and I don't like to text people when they're working. All right. I sent a text to JP mid-4th quarter that simply said, can anybody on the Jaguars catch a football? Because, wow, are they bad. Damn, their receivers can't catch. Their running backs can't catch. Unreal, which is another reason why I wouldn't have gone for it. By the way, there were 6 minutes to go in the game. It's 10-10. 4th and 2, you're on the 48.
Your defense has played lights out except for one play. One play.
Punt the ball. Punt the ball. Punt the ball. And if Nico Collins didn't just give up the ball, I mean, was he watching, by the way, the Steelers-Patriots game? Because the Patriots just couldn't hear. Pittsburgh, here's another, here's another fumble, here. Okay, and Nico Collins decides, you guys haven't beaten us at home in 7 years. I feel bad for you. Here.
But nonetheless, they get the win. I'm with you, David. I'd scratch my head during it.
Man, I get being aggressive. I get having confidence in the whole deal. You've scored 10 points. Your receivers can't catch the ball.
Right. If the
You're
game's
better
28-28 at that point, if you know what I mean. If offenses are working, and if you give the ball back, you feel like they're going to come right down and score, then I understand it. But first downs were a premium in that game.
Golly. So, they're 2-1, and I'm thrilled for them. And for goodness knows they should be 3-0. But, man, I don't. There's a line between being aggressive and being stupid. And Liam Cohen is Aaron Glenn on that line right now. He really is. And he's getting away with it, or at least yesterday he did. So I hope it works out.
And then if you want to go to Saturday, the Canes pulled away in the fourth quarter, but man, they let Florida hang around in a game Florida had no business hanging around in.
Boy,
none whatsoever.
They sure did. Hey, listen, this is what I would say to Billy Napier. Hey, could we take the whole previous 40 games that you were the head coach out of let's just push that to the side. The offense is getting worse. We're being objective here. The offense is getting worse. The Canes are, good. Hell,
get them D-line that can get after you. I mean, that defense has been revamped in a year's time, and it's excellent. It really is.
But 141 total yards.
Right.
Do you think maybe you give someone else a crack at calling the plays? That you're in a rut, okay, and you don't have it going on right now. You need a little change. Just what do you say? You let somebody else same plays here, hand it to somebody else. Let them go. They just may look at the plays differently. What do you say?
Or do you not trust anybody on a staff that has 107 people on it? And if that's the case, then I question your hiring, Billy.
I swear I want to hand the plays to the HBC. I really do. Here for one game. Here against Texas. Here, Steve. Here, give it a shot. Same plays.
I think they were 0 for 13. I don't have it in front of me right now. 0 for 13 on third down, I think was the total.
Down.
0 for 13.
Yeah. Didn't convert a single third down. I mean, I didn't realize, because let me tell you, how did we not know the Canes were the 85 Bears? How did we not know that going into the season? I mean, how were they preseason number 10 if they're the 85 Bears? Could somebody help me out here? By the way, don't you have to vote them number 1 in the country right now?
They moved up to 2. I give the voters a little bit of credit for.
Well, I give the writers credit. Did you see where they are in the coaches poll? They're 6th. 6th. No offense. We're taking your votes away. You're done. Okay, your assistant SIDs are not paying attention. You've lost your vote.
And they're not supposed to pay attention, though. That's the thing. These polls are done by people, both writers and coaches, who are focused on the team that they either coach or cover. It's actually disgraceful, these votes.
But overreaction Monday, both good and bad. Miller and Moulton. Yeah, we'll come up with some poll questions, the starting 5 in 25 minutes. Hope you had a great weekend, and thanks for starting your week off with us.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or nolanagency.com. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So our straight up picks on the NFL, we differed on 6 games. I had you winning 4 of the 6.
Yeah, I was +2 on the week.
So you're +1 now for the season.
Correct.
Okay. Did you? I will say, I was secretly rooting for the Giants cover for what I had texted you.
Oh yeah.
I was going to do the whole slate next week.
Well, I'm sitting there. I did my work for today pretty early, so I can just do. So I'm looking through it. I'm like, I pull yours up. I'm like, all right, win, loss. Then I got to look up the FIU score, and then I am laughing. I am just sitting in my chair laughing because they get blown out. Then Missouri, half point. That was 9.5. They won by 9.
9. Yep.
Lee's struggling.
Yes. Although he needs this game of the week tonight.
Yeah, well, he ain't going to get it.
The goalposts, EV, do not have a microphone, but each network usually puts a microphone on the goalposts. It's usually on the crossbar. In fact, sometimes they put a little camera with a microphone and they attach it to the crossbar.
Oh, it needs to be fired. Okay, Michael. Okay.
Michael, your vaunted defense is not vaunted right now.
Oh, and Bo Nix is not the second coming of Joe Montana just yet.
But that was a tough one to let get away. Division game would have been a really nice one to have.
Dead stroke, I'm with you. By the way, Illinois still ranked. South Florida, not ranked. Illinois ranked. Let's just go head-to-head with who they've played,
Right.
who they've beaten,
Yep.
and who they lost to and by how much.
Illinois' best win is a solid 2-3 score win at Duke. And we all know South Florida's best win. Although, who knows?
Might
Duke
be
might
Boise.
be better.
No. But Boise's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. That's true.
I mean, the Boise win might be better. Oh, of course he is, DC. Yep. He goes back and forth to whoever will listen.
Well, it is early, guys. You know.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. A lot of different places we could go with the poll question. We can go worst loss of the week, best win of the week. All right.
We could do both.
I mean,
we have the ability.
Do we keep wanting to fire people? Okay. Should we, have another poll question which involves hiring and firing and what have you?
I love the fact that fans are just booing bad teams now. Whether it's the Giant fan, whether it's the Tennessee Titan fan, I mean, whether it's the Wisconsin fan.
Hold on. It was as polite a chant as I've ever heard. I would like to try to recreate it for you right now. Fire Fickle. Fire Fickle. I mean, that was there was little booing because the booing would have drowned out the Fire Fickle chant. I thought it was so Wisconsin. I did. Okay. We done with the chant. Let's have a Culver's. It was so Wisconsin, I thought.
Right. Who brought the cheese curd?
Right.
I do want to get personal with you for a moment.
Oh, excuse me?
About Saturday in Lincoln. You've never been to a game there before. It was a good game. Michigan won, but it was a good football game. Mm-hmm. And you had been to Lincoln, you said, but you had never been to Lincoln on a game day. So I am very curious because I have heard nothing but great things about the fans, about the experience, and of all the college game day experiences out there, Nebraska rates pretty high among those in the media who have traveled. So give us a little inside on your Saturday in Lincoln.
Well, the thing that impressed me most was the very last image that I got. Remember, Nebraska fans had this reputation, if it's a good game, that when the game is over and the players are walking off the field, that they give them applause. And sure enough, the fans waited, and Nebraska players were making their way off the field, and they gave them that kind of, I don't know if you can hear me, but that kind of applause.
4.5 footers for bogey?
No. It was a little better than that. It was kind of like, hey, congratulations on your T3. Okay.
Right.
That's really, you're in Scheffler's group. Okay. Hey, you had a good week. Well done. Now get out of the way. Scotty's got a 2-putt for the win. Okay. But they gave Michigan Michigan walked off separately. Okay. And they applauded Michigan as they walked off into the corner. And I went, I'll be damned. Okay, they really do still do this. And I was impressed because you got to be a little tired of losing to these ranked teams, right? What's it, 28, 29 in a row? Something, you haven't beaten a ranked team in 9 years. I mean, aren't you getting a little tired of applauding the opponent? No, they gave Michigan a warm, okay, that they were the other golfer in the threesome. Okay, there was no Scheffler applause. Okay, but there was I don't know, Brian Harmon, nice T2. Okay, well done.
All right.
Well done. It was impressive. It was a fun game. Okay, Michigan was better. I mean, when you can't block somebody, then the other team's better. When you're blocking them on offense and you can't block them on defense, well, that's the better team.
Yeah, I thought the guy there that was the head coach of the day, because Sharon Moore was out, I thought his post-game comments when he said what he told the team at halftime, he was, the game may be tied, but you're kicking the snot out of him out there. And I think that's incredibly accurate.
Right. This just in, by the way, Dominic Raiola is going to look awesome when he's playing for the Canes next year. Okay. He is going to look amazing when he replaces Carson Beck in Miami next year. Because he can't stick around for another year. He's really good. And I mean, Mark, I love college football right now because you assume if someone's a sophomore that they still have 1 or 2 more years at their current school. No. Everybody's a free agent.
Oh,
everybody's on 1-year contracts. Okay. I mean, the people at Nebraska know what schools are already throwing money at Raiola for next year. Okay.
And I would say on the other end of that, any really good receivers that are out there, I got a funny feeling the boosters in Ann Arbor are going to start getting a hold of you, because when they give this kid some talent on the outside, they block well, they run well. I like this Underwood a lot. I think he's going to be really good by the time it's all said and done. But they still lack weapons.
He's not there yet, though.
No.
Okay, he's not. In fact, they lost confidence in him midway through that game, and they just decided, we're not even going to let you throw the ball anymore. Okay, so they're still not there yet with him. They've got 3 weeks till USC. They got a bye. They got Wisconsin, and then they got at USC. And I'm telling you, circle that game, because that could be a play-in game in terms of, stacking up how many Big Ten teams. But that's if we can get Indiana out of the way. And boy, did they make a statement.
And somehow Illinois is still ranked.
Right. Wait, hold on 1 second. We're 1.5 segments in. I think Indiana scored again.
What a whooping. I was looking forward to that game, and Indiana wiped the floor with the Illini. I mean, wow.
Yes.
How about best coaching hire this century?
Indiana?
Yeah.
Last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to say that Indiana's been playing good football, but he's going to start addressing the basketball team and going, hey, get your together. We used to be a basketball school, okay? Come on now, boys.
Got that right. Wow.
Listen, we've done it for a while, okay, but we'll have to get to Saturday night in Miami. The Canes, I would vote them number 1 in the country right now. I think that what they've done so far this year, yes, they've been at home. It is true. But, what they've done so far this year, I think is the most impressive resume so far in college football. I would vote Miami number 1 in the country. And a few people have. They got like 7 AP votes. I think they got 1 coach's vote. I mean, and that's not, I'm not dissing Ohio State or Penn State. I mean, I picked Penn State to win the Natty. But so far, has anybody been better than Miami so far this year? Yes or
No. I mean, we talked a little before the show. South Florida should still be ranked. If Illinois is in the rankings, just put Illinois' resume next to South Florida's resume, and you tell me who should be ranked in the top 25, because it's not Illinois.
No.
So Miami's beaten Notre Dame, South Florida, and Florida. And I thought they had a B- performance against the Gators. The defense had an A. A+ if you want to give them that.
Man, 141.
Right. But that offense didn't look very good.
No. And once again, I want to give the Gators defense. And, Billy's got a lot of things to deal with right now, but one of them also, he has to make sure there's not a split where the defense is looking at the offense going, hey, guys, come on now. Because if you take the last they went for it on their own 22. You take the last touchdown off the board. The defense is looking at the offense going, we held them to 19 points. Seriously, we held South Florida to 18. We held LSU to 20. Okay? Kind of thought we'd be 4-0 if we did that preseason, right?
By the way, LSU got 7 of those on a pick 6.
Right.
So, yes, no one scored more than 20 on the Gator defense.
But man, the Canes look great. They do. Okay. And they're, in theory, only going to get better. And Miami and Florida State are playing in 2 weeks.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
This is Miller and Moulton.
All right, poll questions, best win. What do you want? You want to go Saturday or Sunday? Or just best win of the weekend?
Yeah, I think best win of the weekend.
Who are you putting up there?
Indiana.
Eagles?
God, I don't know. They were getting their butt kicked for.
Yeah, they were. They were down
2 hours.
26-7 and won. How's that not a great win?
All right.
I mean, give me three others.
No,
give me three better.
Here's the funny thing. Who's better right now, the Hoosiers or the Colts? Man, are they living large in Indiana? Pacers go to the finals.
The football state. All right, stick to the poll question. Got to keep you on point right now, Moulton.
Seahawks, Colts, Panthers for the NFL.
Yeah, I can't say Seattle. They beat New Orleans. I don't care.
Okay, that's fine. Who else? What college winner were you impressed with this week? Miami?
No, I wasn't impressed with I wasn't.
How about Syracuse? Oh, how much credit are we going to give them? Clemson trying to be this year's Florida State. My God.
Texas Tech.
Oh, okay. A nomination for Memphis over Arkansas. God, no. Arkansas fumbled at the end. Golly.
Yeah, they literally gave it away.
But good win for the American. Yeah, there's no doubt whoever wins the American's making the playoff. Tell you what, Lane's doing a good job this year. They spanked Tulane.
Yeah, they did. Indiana, Texas Tech. What two on Sunday would you go? I'm not going. I love all your votes for Cleveland, but if I'm going to put Green Bay as worst loss, I can't really call Cleveland the best win. If you know what I mean. I know what you're saying.
Can't say Oklahoma. Okay, first off, 7 of their points was an illegal play.
Eagles, okay. Chargers.
Okay.
Unless we want to do best win on Saturday, best win on Sunday.
Indiana. So who'd you do for Saturday? Indiana, Syracuse.
I got Indiana and Texas Tech right now.
Throw Syracuse on it. Here's the nomination. Which collapse is bigger, the Tigers or the Mets or Clemson?
You put Michigan up there. Indiana, Texas Tech, Syracuse, Michigan.
Right.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes until the top of the hour. It's an overreaction Monday, both good and bad. On Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. 21,000 is the text line. If you've never texted us before or you haven't in a while, you may just want to send in the code word Miller with your text, and that'll get you through the security gate, and then you send your real text. All right.
Text line brought to you by Pelican Roofing of Florida. Pelican Roofing of Florida, statewide. Call today. Commercial, residential, 1-866-9-PELICAN. 1-866-9-PELICAN.
Time now for
the starting 5. 5 big stories you need to know. Here is the starting 5.
And obviously we have a lot to get to. We'll start with the NFL. How about them 3-0 Bucks? First time in 20 years they've been 3-0. They had to rally. Jets scored 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes. But the Bucks, Baker Mayfield drives them down. Chase McLaughlin with a 36-yard field goal at the gun. Tampa 29-27. Jets are 0-3. Bucks injuries continue to mount. We'll get to one of them in a bit. Jacksonville's 2-1. They beat the Texans at home for the first time in 8 years, 17-10. Texans are 0-3. They won the division the last 2 years. It wasn't that the Eagles beat the Rams. That in and of itself was impressive considering they trailed 26-7 early third quarter. It was blocking a second field goal in the fourth quarter, this time on the final play of the game, and returning it for a touchdown to cover.
Right. You're so right with that, David. As it's happening, I'm going nuts for the big fella because we all love to see a big fella run.
And let me tell you,
he was moving. There was nobody catching him.
Listen, there are some quarterbacks who can't beat him in a 40. He had it going. He got Mo going forward, and he just rode that sucker through the end zone.
You got that right. But as it was happening, I'm yelling. I'm on my couch by myself. My daughter runs out. I'm like, the big fella scored, and they covered. And she understands what that means now, and that just makes me so happy.
Well, it's probably one of your 3 greatest parenting achievements so far, Mark.
Thank you.
Eagles 33-26. Rams were getting 3.5, which looked really good, down 1, kicking a field goal on the final play of the game. I still don't know how the Browns beat the Packers 13-10, particularly with about 5 minutes to go when they had 4th and goal and threw a pass incomplete. And you figure, well, the Packers are up 10-0. They can get the horse in the barn from here. I know they're not doing much against the Cleveland defense. Yeah, Green Bay couldn't get the horse into the barn. And they attempted a field goal with about 30 seconds to go to take the lead, and it was blocked and returned to midfield. And then from there, Cleveland did just enough so that the kid who blew week 1 against the Bengals, he came out and kicked a 55-yarder at the gun, the Schmidt kid. Good for him and them. And you know what? The Browns should be 2-1, but they're 1-2. They beat Green Bay 13-10. Boy, you wonder at the end of the year, how big a loss is that going to be for Green Bay in terms of playoff seeding? Just throwing that out there. Wow. In the battle of backup quarterbacks, it wasn't much of a battle.
No, and it was determined early when Jake Browning threw a pick 6.
The Vikings, Isaiah Rodgers with 2 defensive touchdowns, he forced 3 turnovers. Vikings 48-10 over the Bengals. Both teams are 2-1. Marcus Mariota, his first start in 3 years. I said he looked done to me in Atlanta. Well, it wasn't done yesterday. 2 TDs. Commanders over the Raiders, 41-24. Raiders 1-2. Commanders 2-1. What happened in Charlotte yesterday?
That is the most mind-boggling. I mean, Green Bay losing is something, but for Atlanta to get destroyed by Carolina, who saw that coming?
30-0, and the game wasn't much closer than that. Penix got benched in the fourth quarter. Both teams are 1-2, so the Bucs have a 2-game lead in the division. Steelers were gifted a 21-14 win over the Patriots because Stevenson just kept fumbling. It's my guy, too. All right. I mean, they put the ball on the ground, 5-6 times yesterday?
Yeah, he led the league in fumbles last year. He had 2 key fumbles yesterday. That's too bad because I do think Drake May can play a little bit.
Steelers are 2-1, Patriots 1-2. The Indianapolis Colts look like the real thing. Was that a soft drink, the real thing? Anyway, Colts 41-20 over Tennessee. One team's 3-0, the other's 0-3. Jonathan Taylor with 3 touchdowns. Denver had a 7-point lead on the Chargers with less than 5 minutes to go. And the Chargers got a touchdown, a stop, and a field goal and won 23-20. And they have a 2-game lead in their division. And the Broncos are 1-2.
Not only a 2-game lead in their division, but they're 3-0 in the division.
Right.
Every win's been a division win.
Yep. Chiefs, Raiders, and now Broncos. Talk about a slugfest. This was a Moulton Palooza in Frisco yesterday. 16-15. Niners with a Eddie Pinero 35-yard field goal at the gun to win it. I mean, Arizona takes the lead on a safety.
It was
with
a
3 minutes to go.
Dreadful football game.
This just in. You need to play the quarterback and the receivers that are facing the Cowboys in fantasy. Have we concluded that now? Okay, after 3 weeks? Because Russell Wilson and the Giants look like crap, except when they played the Cowboys. This Caleb Williams and the Bears offense didn't look all that good until they did what, Mark?
Played the Cowboys.
Yeah,
their defensive backs are so bad in Dallas.
And do you know how much money they're paying those 2 corners?
Wow.
31-14 Bears. CeeDee Lamb got hurt. News just keeps getting better for the Cowboys. Seattle 44-13 over the Saints. We put them on the clock in the spring, and even though there are 6 0-3 teams, I think the Saints are still on the clock.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah, last night, by the way, dreadful game. Whew, man, you stayed up for that. Chiefs 22-9 over the Giants. Chiefs get their first win of the year.
But it was 38-0 at the half in that Seattle game.
You're right.
38-0 at the half.
Yes. Yeah. It was 21-0 like 9 minutes in.
Right.
We have 6 3-0 teams: Tampa Bay, Philly, San Francisco in the NFC, Indy, the Chargers, and the Bills in the AFC. We have 6 0-3 teams: Dolphins, Jets, Texans, Titans in the AFC, Saints and Giants in the NFC. A couple of 1-1 teams playing tonight in Baltimore: Lions and Ravens. Lions been all over the place. It opened at 4.5, went to 6.5. Now it's 4.5 again. Ravens by 4.5, 8:15 tonight on ABC. Lamar's 24-2 against the NFC in his career. Here are some prominent injuries: Mike Evans with a hamstring, Nick Bosa with a knee, CeeDee Lamb with a left ankle, James Conner with a right ankle, and Najee Harris blew out his Achilles. 4 years in Pittsburgh, didn't miss a game. Third game with the Chargers, non-contact, blows out his Achilles.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Baseball. The Tigers have lost 6 in a row. The Braves have won 8 in a row. Atlanta 6-2 over Detroit. Detroit now goes to Cleveland for a 3-game series, and the Guardians are just a game back. They had their 10-game winning streak snapped yesterday by the Twins, 6-2. The Guardians have won so many games, they're now the final wild card team in the American League. All right? Because the Astros are slumping because Seattle swept them 7-3 thanks to a 7-run second. The big dumper hit is 58th. So the Mariners lead by 3. Their magic number is 3 to win the West. They also now have a better record than Detroit. So they're the 2 seed right now. Houston loses the tiebreaker to the Guardians, which is why Cleveland's in the playoffs today and Houston is not. Toronto's magic number is 4. They beat the Royals 8-5 and clinched the playoff spot. Yankees are playing well. They're just 2 back. Jays hold the tiebreaker, however. 7-1 Yankees in extra innings. They have a pretty soft schedule, all at home, White Sox and Orioles. Meanwhile, the Rays have to play, I think the Red Sox and the Rays do the Jays, so maybe. Tampa Bay beat Boston, so they didn't get swept 7-3. Red Sox a game ahead of both Cleveland and Houston. They're the 5 seed. Marlins have won 6 in a row. They beat Texas 4-2. The Mets lost 2 of 3 to the Nats, while the Reds swept a 4-game series from the Cubs. What does it mean? Reds and Mets are tied for the final playoff spot, and the Reds own the tiebreaker. The Diamondbacks are a game back. They beat Pittsburgh 9-2, but the Reds own the tiebreaker on them as well. Milwaukee clinched the Central despite losing to the Cardinals 5-1. That's because the Cubs lost to the Reds. Giants beat the Dodgers 3-1. Dodgers magic number's 3. Padres are 3 back. They beat the White Sox 3-2. The A's lost, but here's the bottom line, folks. Their 73rd win was Saturday. That's an over for Miller and Moulton. So the A's have had a tremendous season. And by the way, way to go, Reds. Your sweep of the Cubs means you also went over. Good job, Reds and A's.
Only took you 3 years to do it for us, but thank you, Cincinnati.
Yep. By the way, Colorado beat the Angels 3-1. They have 113 losses. And they had 28,516 people show up for their final home game.
Way to show the organization what you think about their team.
The Broncos were playing, and you went to the Rockies game? Brewers righty Brandon Woodruff placed on the 15-day IL. That's just 4 days after they put lefty starter Jose Quintana on the IL. So the Brewers are going to end up with the 1 seed, but they are hurting in their pitching staff come the playoffs. NASCAR in New Hampshire, Ryan Blaney won his 3rd win of the year. 8 of the top 9 spots went to playoff drivers. Ross Chastain finished 9th. College football rankings are out. Ohio State won. Miami, number 2 in the AP, number 6 in the coaches poll. Sad news in the NHL. Bernie Parent passed away at the age of 80. Mark, okay, heaven in the last 3 weeks has seen Ken Dryden, Eddie Jockman, and Bernie Parent show up. I like heaven's goaltending in the 2026 Olympics in Italy. I'm just saying.
The shinny games right now, it's hard to score. It was easier to score a month ago. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, whichever team heaven had until September of this year, they thought they had the best goaltending. I don't know. I kind of like September 2025's goaltending. I'm just saying. WNBA, Indiana, after shocking Atlanta, went to Vegas and pounded the Aces, 89-73. They're winning without Caitlin.
And she's getting fined despite not playing.
Right, well, because she keeps bad-mouthing the officials. I'll tell you what, this could be a problem for her. Okay, I mean, she's bad-mouthing the officials like every day. Tell me the officials aren't going to remember this. Tell me they're not going to.
When you tell them they suck over and over again.
All the time. Minnesota beat Phoenix, so both Indiana and Minnesota are up 1-0 in their semis. And at 8 minutes before the hour, that was starting 5. 5 big stories. And Bernie Parent, one of the all-time good guys and great goalie.
Thing I remember, and I don't remember a whole hell of a lot of him playing. But when they did that great documentary on the Flyers, on the Broad Street Bullies, they talked about Parent. And goalies are, I worked in hockey a long time. Goalies are odd ducks. They are. But Bernie Parent, they were interviewing one of the other players. He says, Bernie liked to smell everything. It didn't matter what it was. You got a new pair of shoes, he wanted to smell them. You got a glove, what's that smell like? And for whatever reason, I just remember that thing and laughing out loud about Bernie Parent wanting to smell everything. And trust me, any fool that wants to smell hockey equipment is an odd duck, because there is only one odor in the world that smells like hockey equipment. It is awful. Awful.
Bernie Parent was with Toronto. Their goaltending tandem was Terry Sawchuk and Bernie Parent, and they still couldn't win the cup. Then Parent goes to the Flyers and wins 2. Miller and Moulton. It's Overreaction Monday. We'll have some poll questions on the other side. Thanks for being with us.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports, in the DoubleTree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers. So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Yeah, Spitz, tell me about it. And Robes, I'm with you. I want to know the results too.
Todd and I are local. We're involved in our community. We live here, we work here, we're in our showroom every day. We love working with our guests. We love giving back to our community.
We are so excited about our new store. Same location, same team, new environment. Every day is like a grand reopening. Absolutely stunning when you walk through our doors now. Come experience the newness of the Diamond District. See what we've done with it.
Todd and I are local. We're involved in our community. We live here, we work here, we're in our showroom every day. We love working with our guests. We love giving back to our community.
We are so excited about our new store. Same location, same team, new environment. Every day is like a grand reopening. Absolutely stunning when you walk through our doors now. Come experience the newness of the Diamond District. See what we've done with it.
Johnny Mac, I had one yesterday.
Todd and I
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this Overreaction Monday. Although in some cases, it may not be an overreaction. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. You know, Mark, not to belabor the point that you and I make about the damn rankings in college football, and then we'll get back to the games in a moment. So let me get this straight. 22nd ranked Auburn goes to Oklahoma, who I think before the game was ranked like 15th, I think. No, they're ranked even better than that. They're ranked like 11th. And they lose by a touchdown. The SEC releases a statement within 3 hours of the game ending that says, yeah, the touchdown they lost by was an illegal play. In fact, Oklahoma should have been penalized 15 yards for even attempting it. And yet Auburn drops out of the rankings for a 7-point loss at Oklahoma. I actually, if I had a ballot, would look and go, I didn't have Auburn ranked high enough. I'd move them up 2-3 spots. They're better than I thought they were.
I mean, heading into Saturday, I think it's still the case, but I believe that the Oklahoma quarterback right now is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman.
Mateer.
So let's get this straight. Auburn against the guy who is considered at this moment in time, whether he is or not, the best quarterback right now in the country. How'd their defense look against him?
Well, they held him to 17 points if you don't count the illegal plays.
Right.
Looked pretty good to me. By the way, maybe Hugh Freeze, maybe he wasn't just playing golf during the summer. All right. Maybe he just was making good, efficient use of his time and then golfing. Shouldn't we all do that? It's early. I know. Just saying. They were giving Hugh a hard time during the offseason. I think it had more to do than the one-loss record the first 2 years, but okay. Hey, Dabo crying during the alma mater. I mean, that's what a home loss to Syracuse will do to you.
A home loss? That was a beatdown.
It really was.
I mean, that was a beatdown. They look horrible.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. They're this year's Florida State so far, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of that, Syracuse on our list right now for the best win on Saturday. And I guess, we could have put Miami on there. Probably should have. But we went with the best win on Saturday and gave you these 4 choices. Indiana, Texas Tech, Syracuse, and Michigan. And probably looking at it now, I should have thrown Miami on there. But
we'll talk about the Canes.
You were expecting the Canes to win. Michigan was a 1.5-point favorite. Syracuse was a dog. Texas Tech was a slight dog in that game. Indiana, they were a 6.5-point favorite. And they scored 63.
Gonna say we thought the line was too big. Hell, I took the Illini and the points.
More on that in a moment.
Warner Wolf, who calls Southwest Florida home, had a whole career in which he would say, if you had Illinois in 55.5, you lost. Man, 63-7. When's the last time a team that was ranked in the top 10 lost by 56 points?
And we talked about this on Friday. What had Illinois done to deserve the lofty ranking?
That was
they
all
won 10 games last year.
Yep.
Everybody said, here it is, the Illini. That's the sneaky team in the Big Ten this year.
Yep. That was
They're not very sneaky right now.
And also, you know what that is? That's outside of the folks in Wisconsin who still hold a grudge in Arkansas. That's Bielema being liked by the media, too. Media likes Brett Bielema because Bielema's good to the media. He's accessible and he's quotable. And he's good in dealing with them, too. Even when he loses, he's good in dealing with you. So that's what that'll get you. That's a few spots higher in the polls than it probably should be. But, yeah. I mean, Mark, what are we going to do? Indiana and Texas Tech, okay, being really good at football. Are we ready for this as a nation?
In the NIL world, Texas Tech, you all see their big donor. He's the guy doing the Save College Sports commercials.
Right.
While he spent $25 million on a roster for the football team. That doesn't include the $2 million he spent in the last 2 years for, wait for it, the softball team. That, by the way, is just for one player. $1 million each year for the pitcher.
And she pitched him to the finals last year in Oklahoma City.
Could argue it was a good investment.
I think it was a great investment. Okay. By the way, don't you love the guy who's throwing the most money around doing the ads for Save College Football? Is this the definition of irony? Okay. You don't know what irony means? Let me tell you, there was this guy in Lubbock, Texas. He threw money around like he was an NBA player at a strip joint. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, bought himself a softball team, a football team, the whole deal. Then, hold on a second. Let me press play. These are the ads he's running. Boom. I don't know. One seems to be totally different from the other, right? No? Help me out here. I think it's spectacular. I do, but
And I know you didn't, and I texted you during the Texas Tech Utah game. I didn't really get that excited to watch it. It's the big noon kickoff, and it was the best game at noon, and we're supposed to think this is a big game. And I'm watching it, and it was violent. It was your kind of football game, David.
13,
I know the
10,
score, right?
Early fourth,
yes. Yeah, and I mean they were hitting.
Yep.
Both sides of the ball. It was an incredibly physical football game. Not dirty either.
It was
Not dirty, not talking trash, just good old-fashioned, we're lining up, and I want to hit you harder than you want to hit me, and the other guy felt the same way about it.
And didn't Utah knock Texas Tech starter out?
Yeah.
By the way, to get back to how bad of a loss was it for Clemson, didn't Syracuse also play most of that game with their backup quarterback? I thought Clemson knocked out the starter. Anyway, yes, Mark, yes. Okay, Texas Tech, Utah. You know who watched that game? Arizona and San Francisco. And they said, we should play each other like that tomorrow. And
You're right. Those two games were similar, except for at least in the fourth quarter, Texas Tech started scoring.
Yeah.
In Arizona and San Francisco, no one wanted to.
Oh, so close to the game-winning play being a safety. I mean, oh, my goodness. Get better than that. I mean, that's like having blocked field goals returned for scores at the end of games. Man. Remember that sequence they talk about it back, NBC when the tournament started to explode, NBC had a sequence. NBC was televising the college basketball tournament in which they took you to 3 buzzer beaters, boom, 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 in which like top 10 teams all got taken down on buzzer beaters. And it all happened within like 3 minutes around the country. And NBC took you to all 3. That was the end of the NFL's 1:00 games yesterday. Block kicks everywhere. Jets, Bucks, Eagles, Rams, Browns, Packers. It was like, what is going on? I can only imagine what red zone was like at like 4:00 yesterday.
By the way, the Syracuse quarterback blew his Achilles, so it was a non-contact thing. And by the way, you realize, David, I've not yet watched the red zone this year. I've not had it on. Not once. Not for 1 second.
Is that because the 4 15-second ads are
No, has nothing to do with it. There have been literally, and I've got the 3 TV set up on Saturday and Sunday. I've had games I've wanted to watch. I mean, I'm trying to lock in. We've been in Jacksonville now for a while. I try to make sure I have the Jags game on.
That was a tough watch.
It was. I'm into the Bucks. I'm watching the Bucks. And then, the wife, I had to put the Steelers game on. I had the Jags TV split so I could watch Eagles, Rams, and Jags, Houston.
I don't know how many other teams did it yesterday, but I know the Bucks had their, they had their throwback uniforms on, and the Patriots, come on, tell me I'm wrong. Why would the Patriots change from that? Honestly. Come on.
The only thing I would say, David, and I know you love the old Patriot jersey. When I see that jersey, what I think of is horrific football because they played absolutely terrible football the entire time that they wore those jerseys, with the exception of the one Super Bowl they went to and got their asses kicked.
Yeah, by the 85 Bears, yes.
Right, but I mean, that's the 1 year in those jerseys that they were good. They switched jerseys. I don't know. They seem to have a little success in the new unis.
Which is just using that reasoning. Dolphins, if you're listening, yet another reason to go back to the jerseys that everyone loves. That's when you were winning. Okay, see, do a reverse Patriots. Okay, yes, the Patriots switched to uglier uniforms. Don't know what to tell you. They started winning.
And if the Bucks would have blown the game yesterday in the creamsicle homes, they should have burned them and never wore them again. Even Baker acknowledged after the game, we haven't had a lot of success in these, so it was nice to win.
Listen, they do it in college, so I want to do it for 6 seconds in the NFL. You said Mateer's probably leading the Heisman. Okay, in all honesty, right now, Justin Herbert or Baker Mayfield, who you voting for MVP 3 games into the season?
Baker Mayfield. Are you kidding me? 3 fourth quarter comebacks? American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow and Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow and Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow and Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Exclusions apply. See your local Glass Doctor for details.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 13325.
This is Miller and Moulton.
I think the game's in Tampa.
It is.
Hey, Jake's got something to go to Thursday night.
Yeah, he was a little bummed out about them getting blown out by BYU.
BYU's pretty good.
They are.
They would have been really good if quarterback had stayed.
I know. All right, so if I were to go best win on Sunday, I've got Philadelphia and the Chargers up. Do we go San Francisco?
Do we go Chicago? Carolina?
You Carolina, Cleveland after Philadelphia and the Chargers?
Yeah. Anybody see the post-game locker room? Bears?
No.
They're fired up.
I saw Jacksonville's.
Liam can curse.
Oh, yeah, he can.
He can. Man. He's likable, but golly, could you just dial it back a little bit, dude? It's okay to kick the field goal or punt.
Worst loss Sunday, Green Bay, Atlanta, Got to put the Rams, right?
And do you put the Bengals because they got blown out?
Yeah. Sure.
Or we can just limit it to 3.
I've already got Cincinnati typed.
Okay.
And finally, just because I'm having fun, worst loss Saturday.
Okay. Can you put A, Illinois, B, Illinois, C, Illinois? Or is that 2?
Well, then Clemson for C.
A, Illinois, B, Clemson, C, Illinois, D, Clemson. Is that too snarky?
I'm putting North Carolina down.
You know what? Good for you. Man, offensively, they look like crap. Puck, come on. Cut us some slack. We're just having some fun. You're probably right. It's a poll question.
We have Cleveland and Green Bay. You vote accordingly.
Larry, I got to admit, I wasn't impressed with Underwood. Okay, you can see the talent, but he didn't play that well. Okay, and they lost confidence in him in the second half and took the ball out of his hands. But you see the talent. Like early in the game when he was playing with confidence, you were like, "Oh,
yeah."
snap."
It was almost a game of 2 halves for that kid.
Yeah, because the first half, Bryce Underwood, you're like, "Oh, I'm buying."
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. It's an Overreaction Monday. We try to have as much fun with it as we can. Mark is firing up poll questions during the break. Best this, worst that. Saturdays, Sundays, every odd Thursday. I mean, you name it. He is just pumping out the poll questions.
Yeah, we've got best win of Saturday, best win of Sunday, best or worst loss Saturday, worst loss Sunday. They're all up. Miller_Moulton on X. When I get a second, I'll actually vote on them. I got here early this morning and I forgot something that I had to do with part of the show. So that whole last commercial break at the top of the hour, I'm getting that done, getting poll questions done. Yep. So we're there. I think I'm ready now, but time to do a little review. First off, the worst loss on Saturday, I couldn't include Oklahoma State because it was on Friday.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh,
they
boy.
won 10 games 2 years ago.
Yes, they did.
And they lost to Tulsa for like the first time in however many years.
Since the Truman administration, Mark.
Since the 50s. Wonderful. Wonderful.
I actually think it was the late 40s. I thought it was like 48 or 49. Yes, Mark. Okay. It's been a while since we've been able to talk about Harry S. here on the show.
Man, oh man. And what the hell's going on with Iowa? Scoring 38 points. Who do you think you are?
In fact,
entertaining football against Rutgers on Friday night. What the hell?
What are you doing saving that for Big Fox on a Friday night? All those times we give you those great Saturday time slots. What are you doing, Iowa? Here's the other thing. Burning questions I have, Mark, from the college football weekend. A, when's the last time a top 10 team got beat by 56 points? That's in honor of Illinois. And B, when's the last time a team scored 28 against Iowa and lost? I'd like to know.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
And I couldn't put USC as the best win because that game didn't end until Sunday.
Hey, of course, it didn't start till almost Sunday, but that's
damn right.
I'll tell you, between the Ohio State fans mad at Fox, now you got the Michigan State fans mad at Fox. I'll tell you, Eric Shanks, the president CEO of Fox Sports, he's just checking them off right now.
Yeah,
They
you know
hate
what?
us. They hate
You
us.
said it, Dave. What's the line again? Shut up and
cash the
checks.
checks. Yep.
All right, little review here. Lee Sterling is off to a rough start picking games on Miller.
With us.
Yeah.
Us.
Now remember, Lee picks games that he thinks our audience is most interested in.
Right.
He does games that involve Florida teams. He did at the Oklahoma game, which it's funny when Lee sent it, it was 6.5. Like when he sent the email, it was 6.5. On Friday, it was 7.5.
Yep.
At kickoff, it went back to 6.5. But on the show, when we did it, it was 7.5. And I say that because I had Oklahoma minus 7.5.
Yes, you did. You and I both fell victim to the hook this week.
And I took the Gators. I felt pretty good going into the fourth quarter, even though the offense couldn't do anything. Miami wasn't doing much. I'm like, I might be able to squeak this one out. But Miami took control in the fourth quarter, and the Canes cover. But the other three games, Michigan I won, Duke I won, and the Steelers, because the Patriots gifted that game to Pittsburgh yesterday. I won that 3-2, moving my record to 10-10 through 4 weeks. Thank you. 4 straight 2-3, 3-2 weeks. That's what you're getting out of me right now. Nothing too bad, nothing too great.
Right.
David, of course, cannot stick to 5 picks on our show. Never has, never will. In fact, he had 5 college games. And after winning his first college game, he lost the next 4, most of them badly, with the exception of the hook in the Missouri-South Carolina game. 9.5, final score, 29-20.
Yes, keep going for 2. Don't kick extra points. Thank you very much. Yes.
But then on Sunday, David makes a monumental comeback. He had the Bears, he had Pittsburgh, and he had the Jets plus 6.5, which didn't look all that good for a long time. But then the Jets bulled their way back into the game, and they cover in the loss. It was all riding on his G-men last night, as David took a New York daily double with the Jets and the Giants. But the Giants, unfortunately, don't know how to score points. And Russell Wilson, on 4th and goal, late in the game, threw the ball out of bounds. So David had a 4-5 week, his best week of the year.
Yes. I was 44% this week. For me, that's money Moulton right there. In fact, all of you went the other way. You're like, I barely won money this week. What the heck?
8-19 on the season.
Yeah. I'm like
cannot get here fast enough for you.
I'm like John Daly on a par 5 on the Champions Tour. That's what I am right now. Reaching over to my caddy going, give me another one. No, we can move up and hit it from the designated drop zone. Give me another one. Going to hit it from here.
For all of you that had the Rams yesterday plus 3.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, they're lining up for the field goal, and there's only one thing that can happen for you to lose that bet. And it did. One of the all-time bad beats, because they can just fall on that. The game's over.
Didn't they have the 2 field goals late in the fourth quarter blocked by the 2 Georgia guys?
Yes. Right up the middle.
Right up the middle. The one the 91 got the first and 90 got the second, and then he decided to return it for a score. Man, he's moving. Try blocking that. My goodness. That big man can run. Oh, yeah. That was the cover of the year. If something tops that, I want to know. Right now, that's the gold standard for Scott Van Pelt's bad beats right there. Try to beat it.
Absolutely.
Try to beat it.
Absolutely. So those are our picks against the number.
Yep.
Head-to-head in the NFL, neither of us had very good weeks. David and
No.
I went head-to-head on 6 games. I was able to get 4 of the 6, and I have now a 1-game lead over David through 3 weeks in the NFL. Just straight-up picks.
Yeah. I had the Bears over the Cowboys. That's about it. I had Arizona. They nearly won on the safety. I had the Rams. You wonder, though, by the way, is that going to be a game? Like, how high are we on the Rams? Is that we talk about Green Bay's loss and how that could affect them? Is that going to cost them a division title? Is that going to cost them playoff seeding where they could have been the 1 or they could have been the 2, or instead they're the 3, so they play the divisional round on the road? I mean, seriously. I mean, we look back every year, the Bengals the last 2 years have had a week 1 loss that was embarrassing, and that's why you guys missed the playoffs. I'm wondering, Mark, how high are we on the Rams? Could that blocked field goal be the difference between who hosts a playoff game between the Rams and the Eagles?
Very much so, because I still think they're the best team in that division until proven otherwise. There was nothing that I saw out of San Francisco that made me believe in them. And Arizona losing the running back, that's not going to be good. Maybe the Seattle team's a little better than we thought. We'll find out. That division's still awfully competitive. Miller and Moulton. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Todd and I are local. We're involved in our community. We live here. We work here. We're in our showroom every day. We love working with our guests. We love giving back to our community.
We are so excited about our new store. Same location, same team, new environment. Every day is like a grand reopening. Absolutely stunning when you walk through our doors now. Come experience the newness of the Diamond District. See what we've done.
For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122. or NolanAgency.com. American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Empire, are you wearing a jersey? All right, I'm in Denver next week. What's that? Bengals, Broncos?
Oh, that's a good one. Enjoy.
Thank you. Get to see my best friend. So
that's good. And it's Mountain Time, the best time zone of all. So you'll be there. Hopefully, you'll get there Sunday to watch football at 11 a.m. Where are you Saturday? Oh, you're in Washington, right?
Ohio State, Washington.
That's a good game. That's a sneaky good game.
Dodgers, Mariners at night.
You going?
Yep.
Little big dumper action.
Little big dumper. And I'm hoping to see Ohtani.
That's
the Dodgers. They both may have it clinched by then. When I bought the tickets, which were not cheap, I mean, like $190.
Wow, for a baseball game?
Yep. It's Ohtani. You know, it's Ohtani.
Yeah, in Seattle, right?
Seattle.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. So,
by the way, I will say I watched I had the sound on. I didn't bother with obviously with Dallas and Chicago. Couldn't have cared less. But so I watched Denver and the Chargers from the get-go.
Right.
The crowd was. I mean, you could hear the Chargers fans. I mean, they were into the game, if you know what I mean.
You could hear the Broncos fans too. But
yeah. Oh no. But
yes. Yep. It's a great stadium. It is. It's a top. I mean, nothing beats Lambeau because of the history. But if you're going to new stadiums, I mean, I love US Bank in Minneapolis. I love it. Great atmosphere. It's great. The acoustics are awesome. SoFi's. Oof.
How is, and I've never, people in Michigan rave about Ford Field. You've been there. How is that?
I think it's good. I don't make it top 5, but I mean.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. It's Overreaction Monday, both good and bad. Mark had put up, I don't know, the 12, 13, 17 poll questions, something like that. Best this, worst that, Saturdays, Sundays, you name it. I mean, best throwback uniforms, I think, is the only thing we haven't posted yet.
Well, maybe the Dolphins could start wearing theirs and it would help.
Come on! I feel like Burgess Meredith in the hospital. What are we waiting for?
Text line's open at 21,000. The text line sponsored by Pelican Roofing of Florida. Pelican Roofing of Florida, residential, commercial, statewide. Give them a call today, 1-866-9-PELICAN, 1-866-9-PELICAN. And a lot of people chiming in on the text line this morning, David, on a lot of different things. But I did laugh at this one because the Gator fan is getting snarkier by the minute.
Ooh,
They passed angry a while ago.
Oh, good.
And they were angry after South Florida. Now it's just become snarky.
Oh, so it's snarky's replaced anger, or it's snarky on top of anger, which is the best.
I think it's on top of them. What time is Scott Strickland going to come out with the BS statement? Billy Napier is our head football coach, and we are committed to providing the resources needed to achieve this continuous mediocrity.
Can I be serious for 12 seconds about the Gators? At what point, if you're Scott Strickland, do you walk down the hallway and go, Billy, give up play calling now or you're fired? And when Napier
you and I both think it should have been done at the end of last season.
I understand that, but they won their last 4 and DJ Lagway. Okay, fine. It ain't working. It's not just that we're 1-3. It ain't working. The Miami Hurricanes may be the best team in the country. Their defense looked like the 85 Bears Saturday. They're not the 85 Bears. They're not, okay? 141 total yards of offense. 10 points against LSU, 16 points against the Bulls. That's 3 games in a row, 33 total points. Billy, we have a bye week this week. Hand over the play calling or you're fired. Is Scott Strickland out of line if he walks down the hallway and does that? Because I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either. And, you know, as many of you Gator fans have pointed out, there is a void in leadership at that university. They don't have a president. So who's Strickland reporting to? And if it's self-preservation of his job that he wants, he's got to fix the football program. I get you won a national championship in basketball. It's great. It was awesome. Loved watching it. Looks like you hired the right basketball coach. But how many bad hires can you have for the guy that leads your team on Saturday? You know, the one that all of your alumni and all of your fans care about. Can't score 20 points? And even going back to the game against pitiful Long Island University, you had like 8 plays that they got you behind the line of scrimmage?
Bye week, Texas at home. I think it's a must. Then at A&M, oh boy. Then you host Mississippi State. By the way, the worst team in the SEC. They look better than you guys do, but that's, I know they're not, but they're 4-0. Just saying. And then you have a bye week for Georgia. Now, you know, I said when this went south against South Florida, I said he's getting fired in between Mississippi State and Georgia. It's the second bye week. It's not this bye week. It's the next one. I think Texas is a must for this reason, Mark. It's at home. Got to get those people off his back. Okay, he beats Texas. He gets them off their back to the cocktail party. Unless by chance they lose at home Mississippi State, then you're fired walking off the field.
Then all bets are off. Right.
But, you know, if you beat Texas, you can lose in College Station, come home, beat Mississippi State, and then it's like, okay, your job's on the cocktail party. It's riding on that. Whether they fire you right after the game or not, that basically the school makes a decision after the cocktail party whether they're staying or going.
And, David, I don't see much outside of winning all but one of the rest of your games that keeps Napier in Gainesville. Like, I'm serious. How does he keep his job? And as someone texted in, give up play calling to whom? Is there anyone on the staff that can call plays? I would only answer this. Is there anyone that can do a worse job calling plays than Billy Napier right now? Whoever, you bring the special teams coach in, bring in a grad assistant. How much worse can it get offensively?
I know.
0 for 13 on third down. How many yards, David? One what?
141.
141 yards, 0 for 13 on third down.
Come on now. I mean, Mark taped the college football pick segment with his daughter over the weekend. I mean, at this point, honestly, you just put the offensive staff in the room. If you're Strickland, you grab that play sheet and you go, hey, who wants to give this a try? Seriously, which one of you wants to give this a try? I know it would be asinine, I guess. I swear I want to hand the play sheet to Spurrier. I want to say, Steve, you can't golf this week. You got to learn these plays. You got 2 weeks to get ready for Texas here. Okay? And you can make little notes on the side of what play this resembled that you used to call. Okay, and you can make little notes to yourself. Honestly, Steve, I swear, can you call plays against Texas, please? Well, it's really not that hard. I mean, you run the ball a little bit, and then, you got the tight end on the cross, and you got the flanker run the post, and then you got the wide receiver on the other side. He runs it down and in. Okay, you can always throw it to the back out of the backfield. I mean, it's really not that complicated. I swear, he could then be like Bowden. He could just refer to guys by number. He doesn't even have to know their name. Hey, 83, what'd I tell you? Okay, you clear the linebacker and then you button hook. Okay, and then boom, hit it right there. DJ. When he clears the linebacker, you throw him the ball right between the 8 and the 3. That's how we do it. I swear. Give me a charge card. I'll max it out. How many of you are with me? I swear. What are we going to call plays? What, another 141 yards against Texas? Come on, at least put the visor on the sideline, will you?
David, texter with you. Maybe raise money for an NIL deal by auctioning off the play calling. Can't get worse than it is. I'm telling you, the snark level is at an all-time high with Gator fan.
I'm loving it.
And that's the problem, though. I mean, Napier was hired because he could do what? Run an offense. They were,
Yeah. Well,
and this is what, and this goes back a long time with you and I. The Gator fan wants the Gators to look a certain way.
Totally.
They'd be pissed if they were 1-3, no matter what it was. But if they would have lost to Miami 40-37 and looked like, the Florida Gators that they all remember.
Right.
But when you look at the product that's on the field, there's no hope right now.
Yes. Gator fan would rather have lost that game 42-31. That they could live with. Okay. Yeah. 26-7, which was really 19-7. 26-7, 141 yards. Absolutely not. No, you're going to ask these people for money? Are you serious? I mean, they're trying to buy Lagway's replacement right now. It's the only money you're getting. You got to get DJ out of here. Now I got Spurrier in my head. I'm going to talk like him the rest of the show. I don't know that we saw something in this DJ. I don't know. He can't play. Where's the backup? I mean, hell, I benched Terry Dean like 3 weeks after he threw 9 touchdowns. Okay, I can bench anybody.
There's the problem, though, in today's NIL world. Because you could argue at some point in that Miami game that they could have pulled Lagway and put the backup in.
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, come on.
In today's NIL world, coaches, I think, are scared, and Napier has made no bones about it. He's going to live and die with Lagway. I get it. But at some point, you have to look at the product that's out there and try something differently.
Well, yeah, because if you're the backup quarterback, I mean, is he out of line if he walks in the room and goes, hey, what do I have to do to get on the field?
Oh, sorry, that's my agent. I'm getting offers from other schools. I'm gone.
Hold on a second. Right. I'm sorry. No, tell Miami. No, I hold on. Right. Oh, man. By the way, I want to give the Canes as much credit as possible. I swear I'd vote them number 1 in the country right now. All right. Do I think that right now they're going to win the Natty? No. I think they might make the Final Four, though. But I don't think anybody's got a better resume so far than Miami. And yes, it's all been at home. That's nice. It is. Okay, but they beat Notre Dame. They humiliated South Florida. And in a way, I mean, well, first off, they dominated. But in a way, they also humiliated the Gators. I mean, 141 yards. I mean, I think it's the best resume so far in the country.
And we get the showdown with the Noles. And oh boy, should that be fun.
Come on,
the other thing too, David, and I know you don't watch a lot of the pregame anymore, but when you've got Nick Saban on game day looking into and we all looking, and I know Nick was wrong about Florida State last year too, so Nick's not right about everything. I get it. But when Nick is sitting there going, it's the best roster he's had that's the best Florida roster in a long time. And sitting there telling the country how much talent that they have. And to see that offense continue to look as bad as it does. Now it isn't just the Florida fan. Now it's the college football fan that sees it, and everybody's dumping on the Gators.
Quick
I will
sidebar
say
here.
quickly,
Yeah.
McAfee running from the set to the 10-meter platform, gassed by the time he was there, having to take a break. And then as he's gearing down into his diving suit, the readjustment of his regions down below on national TV is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I mean, he made baseball players blush with that pull of the groin.
By the way, anybody else feel a little uncomfortable when Nick Saban's staring into the camera, making picks against the number? Anybody else? Miller and Moulton will bet on cockroaches, okay, in the corner, who's going to reach the food first. But I'm a little uncomfortable when Nick, Nick, you need the money this badly? If you said to them, I'm not doing the picks against the number, okay, you know what they'd tell? Okay. I mean, I don't know.
When did we decide on game day we're not just picking games anymore? We're picking games against the number. I mean, we all know ESPN bet's struggling like a son of a you-know-what, but wow.
That's when I think they said, Corso ain't coming back. We need to change this segment entirely. Make it the ESPN bet segment. Nick should at that point just say, I'm out. I don't know. Even I get a little squirmy. And I make 37 picks a weekend, but man. Oh, okay, that's just me. I got that out of my system. I don't know. The Steelers Bumblebee jerseys or Saban picking games against the number. I don't know which one makes me uncomfortable more.
It is the side of the times, that for sure. I'll go Bumblebee close. So we've got a litany of poll questions up there. Best win on Saturday, best win on Sunday, worst loss on Saturday, worst loss on Sunday. I've actually answered them all and retweeted them or reposted them, whichever one you want to use.
I got to get to that.
Don't worry. There's a lot of questions, David. I mean, I kind of exploded here on a Monday morning. That Mark Miller, soon to be the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. It's an overreaction Monday. Lot to react to on both Saturday and Sunday. Teams, Illinois, they were a top 10 team. They got blown out, don't deserve to be ranked. Clemson was a preseason top 6, and they're a grease fire. Miller and Moulton. Thanks for listening. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
So I asked him at Floor Meisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floor Meisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floor Meisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floor Meisters, floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea, and by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe. And for over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or NolanAgency.com. Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Buck, you talking about the illegal play? Okay, I don't know how they missed that. I have no idea how the officials could have missed that.
Todd and I are local. We're involved in our.
See, this is where, by the way, although I don't know if you can go this far, because like in the NFL, they review every scoring play, but I don't know if they
Besides
can.
the sales experience at the Diamond District.
Like, I don't know if there's a way to legislate where that could be overturned. Like, if you're college football, do you then?
Besides the sales experience at the Diamond District, we offer a litany of other services. Appraisals.
We have 2 GIA certified gemologists, full-time, servicing your needs with appraisals.
We buy gold, diamonds, gemstones, Rolex watches. Repairs.
We have 3 full-time master bench jewelers.
A beautiful custom design department so that we can give you one-of-a-kind jewelry. Come see Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Wes, they're the best officials in college football, though. They are. They are. I mean, that's just a fact. I'm just wondering, can you put a rule in that, first off, you do like the NFL, where all scoring plays are reviewed? But see, to me, you can't overturn it if it's like holding, or you decide, although that was pass interference, but I mean, that was a rules violation. Well, Wes, to be honest with you, though, it's one official. There's one official on that side who's responsible for that. You can't crucify the whole conference as officiating. There's one official who should have saw that on the sideline. You can't indict the whole crew even. That's one guy's fault. Backsburg, here was my thing. They couldn't put Dart in there until they got Thomas back at left tackle. Okay? Because only when he's on the field is it an above average offensive line. So if he's going to, and they even had him on a pitch clock, count last night. To me, Backsburg, you can put Dart in, in a week or two, but you got to make sure that your line, you can't get Dart killed. That's not going to help.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It's hour 3 of Miller and Moulton on this Overreaction Monday. Thanks so much for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. We've got 4 poll questions. Best win Saturday, best win Sunday, worst loss Saturday, worst loss Sunday. Obviously kicking a bunch of things around. Mark, something came up on the YouTube and Twitch chat room. You were working on things during the break. Let me just ask you this question. Do you want to pass a rule in college football to prevent what happened in the Oklahoma-Auburn game, where Oklahoma duped not just Auburn, but they duped the officials, which is really one official on that sideline, and they ran an illegal play. It's clearly illegal. It's a 15-yard penalty, in fact. And the SEC, this is not Miller and Moulton's opinion, the SEC released a statement within 3 hours of the game ending, saying the officials blew it. This was an illegal play. They should have been penalized 15 yards. I'm just wondering, do you want there to be any recourse, or is it just happens?
All right. What recourse? Can I just start there? What recourse?
Well, the only thing you could do is, I believe, like the NFL reviews every scoring play. You then would have to take that further, though. Okay, if by chance they took a look at that and they went, oh, wow, that's an illegal play, are they then allowed to essentially from the booth throw the flag and tell the guys down on the field, actually, that guy never left the field. That's violation of blah, 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 blah. That's unsportsmanlike. That's a 15-yard penalty. Take the touchdown off the board.
What they did was a fake substitution. Is that the best way to describe? How would you describe it? I mean, I'm trying to. Someone said what happened. What? Right. How's the best way to describe it? The player was coming off the field, or it appeared as if he was coming off the field in a substitution,
and never left.
And never left the field.
Right.
He left the huddle, if you will, and was running.
I think he had run downfield on the previous pass play. So then he starts heading to the sidelines. And obviously, as a defense, you look, he's going off, somebody else is coming on. All right. And they didn't realize that he gave the appearance as if he was substituting himself out, but then he stayed on the field to play. Who missed it was the official on the sideline, who's right there.
Hugh Freeze was going nuts about it. Now, I don't know if it didn't seem like he did that in real time. I think someone upstairs then told Hugh,
yes,
that was an illegal play. And then Hugh Freeze is going to the official going, you've got to throw a flag. Well, they didn't. David, you and I, for I don't know how long, we've always thought that the eye in the sky, if you will, should have the ability to throw a flag. The only way to prevent that is for that to happen. What I find fascinating is that Oklahoma thought they could get away with it. I mean, they knew the play was illegal.
Of course. Of course.
And they literally said, we're going to take a chance on a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty and think that the officials are too dumb or not paying attention and will get away with it. I mean, so there's a lot of moving parts here.
Yep.
So outside of the replay booth being able to call a penalty, I don't know how
Right.
to stop it.
Right. And that's my question. My question is, because this is how you quote over legislate. This is how you end up eventually going, oh my goodness, the rule book's too big and now we're legislating everything. I'm wondering if you're running not just the SEC, but like Steve Shaw, who used to run SEC officiating, now runs all of college football officiating. Okay, now the rule's already on the books. It's not a matter of adding a rule to the books. It's just a matter of how much authority are we going to give the replay booth? Are we going to allow the replay booth to take a touchdown off the board? Not because he stepped out of bounds, not because his elbow was down on the foot line, not because we think he lost possession of the ball right before he got to the goal line. We're talking about, are we going to let replay take a touchdown off the board because where they go, oh no, they violated the such and such rule. That doesn't count. I mean, that's a whole new level of power that we're giving the booth. And I'm just wondering, because the slippery slope that happens, Mark. We go from a rule interpretation and then people are going to want them to do more. So I'm just wondering, do we want to give replay in college football the power to take that score away, or do we have to live with the fact that mistakes happen?
David, I would be hypocritical if I were just to say mistakes happen. I don't know if it's 10 years. I don't know if it's 15 years. You and I have always thought, Saturday or Sunday, that there should be an extra official who has the ability to call a penalty from the replay booth, if you will. I mean, we've been pretty consistent about that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy fix. I don't think they'll do it.
I don't either. I would be in favor of it. And I understand, I understand the slippery slope. I really do. I know where this could lead. I'm willing to take the chance.
The other way to legislate it is Belichick's rule. And they don't have challenges on Saturday. But this is the old, you can challenge anything. If the coach were allowed to challenge anything, that coach upstairs who saw it tells Freeze they had an illegal substitution or an unsportsmanlike play because that player was coming off. They can't do that. Review the play.
This is how egregious the mistake is. In baseball, every now and then you hear, that so-and-so's appealing this game. Well, you can't appeal judgment calls. You appeal based on a rules violation. Those are legitimate appeals that go to the commission. Now, we all know 99% of appeals are denied. Okay, but you have a real case if you can say, the umpires violated page 13 here, Rule 7, subsection 2A. Okay, this is so bad. This is something that in baseball could literally be appealed to the commissioner's office, in which you would say, we would like to go back on an off day and resume the game, taking the score off the board, this being the score and this how much time is left in the game. And I actually believe in baseball, okay, they would say, well, this is a rules violation. We got to redo this. Okay, that's how egregious of a mistake this is. Now, Mark, right now, we have no idea. I mean, this could keep Auburn out of the playoff for all we know. This could get Oklahoma in the playoff.
And it was a 7-point game. Do they go to overtime and Oklahoma wins? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, to say that because of this play, Oklahoma won, I think's making a huge leap. Obviously, it was a monster play in the game.
Sure.
But I don't know if that's going to be the difference by the time they finish it. There's no way any of you know.
Exactly. Everything is different. The play calling would not have been the same. Okay. You can't say the game would have ended in regulation tied at 17. You can't. Teams who, didn't go for it on fourth down might have gone for it in a tie. We just don't know. But it's just the question. If you're college football moving forward in future years, do you want to give the replay booth the power to radio down and go, that doesn't count. That was a rules violation. That wasn't you missing a holding penalty. That was you not enforcing, rule blankety blank on page such and such. That's got to come back.
Pelican Roofing of Florida text line. They will never, ever throw a penalty flag from the booth. You just accept it as a mistake, human error. That's all there is to it. And I actually think the texter is ultimately going to be right. I would do it differently, but I believe that the texter has it right. Because I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sir, ma'am, child, whoever you are. Don't want to discriminate from who texts the show, David.
We won't even get into the fact that the spread on the game was either 6.5 or 7.5, depending on when you bet it, and the game was decided by 7. That's a whole other story. Okay, listen, you think that's bad? Oklahoma, Auburn better? Have the Rams in 3.5 Sunday, okay? Talk to the Rams.
Or the guy that bet on the Rams. 26-7 they're up in that game.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And, oh, yeah, by the way, Jalen Hurts won the game, wait for it, with his arm.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You know why? Jalen, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. Have you guys met? I think you have. Okay.
And by the way, Jalen, if you haven't met A.J., here's Devontae Smith.
Right. I know you know Devontae. You played with him in college. You may not have seen him for a while. He's been right here to the right. Okay. AJ's usually to your left. Okay. AJ, Devontae. I feel like Letterman at the Oscars. Oprah, Uma, Oprah. AJ, Devontae, AJ. That's all. Sirianni had to stop yelling at people to get the three together. Introduce them. AJ, by the way, okay, what have you been reading? Okay. How about you give it to Jalen? Okay. You two need to spend more time together. Join a book club.
I think that's what AJ should start, by the way. He should start a book club.
Totally. There's so many endorsement possibilities here. The $28 million he's making is not enough. Let's get him a little side action.
It never is, David. It never
is. All right. I just wanted to ask. That's all.
But you and I have always been in favor of the booth being able to overrule something on the field. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't. The sport enjoys the controversy of human error.
You mean
talk radio loves the controversy of human error. Even though pro football is not an opinion sport, the opinions matter to keep driving the bus. And in college, it's everything.
We had a team get a share of a national title because they scored on a 5th down. Okay, we didn't do anything about it. So what are you saying, Mark? You're saying they're going to continue to allow stuff like this to happen? That sounds preposterous. Mark, that sounds like major college football. I just don't see it happening.
For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122. or nolanagency.com.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
This is Miller and Moulton.
I gotta say, Puck, you had your ambient moment during that last segment. You're an Auburn fan, and you're a little biased when it comes to that call. I would have mistaken you for a couple of other people in the chat room, particularly when you said the ref was in on it. Now, come on, now, you're better than that.
Yeah, they screwed up. They did.
Thank you, Puck. Thank you. Okay.
That's Puck's equivalent to, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
I'm very angry. I'm angry with
very,
that.
very angry with myself. Right. I'm just angry. Right.
Yes, Paul, it is now illegal.
In college football, and the irony is they literally did a big point of emphasis during this offseason, okay? And the reason, Paul, is in college football, more so than the NFL, they have so much more no huddle. So if you're making it's bad, it's already difficult on the defense to substitute, and they just felt it was unfair to then also throw deception, intentional deception into it.
Do you want me to play the open to the NFL today here if we do that segment?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Okay, just stay. Someone just sent me a text that said the cheapest ticket for Canes Knowles right now is $450.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
I'm going to double check that.
Now we're talking.
I'm going to double check that.
Now we're talking. We just need Florida State to win in Virginia Friday night. It's a trap game. That's all. Get the W and get back home.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Sort by price, $441.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Those were the good old days, folks. For those of a certain generation, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, Logic Man. I'd argue 15 years outside of a couple of years in the late 90s when the Canes bottomed out. but basically you go from like 87 to 02. Damn near every year, that was the game. Oh, I miss the OB so much.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. It's Overreaction Monday to wins and losses and to your team falling apart in baseball, by the way, of which these two hosts are very familiar with right now.
The Tigers, my Tigers, trying to do something that's never been done.
Never.
15.5 was the lead. The record for the biggest collapse was 14 games. The Tigers are barely holding on against the Cleveland Guardians because Cleveland lost yesterday, snapping their long winning streak. They're still a game ahead of Cleveland, but Detroit has 3 in Cleveland and then 3 in Boston.
Right.
They could not only blow the division, they could miss the playoffs entirely.
They could, because they're only a game ahead of both Cleveland and the Astros. Right now, Cleveland is the 6th seed because they own the tiebreaker on the Astros. But in theory, if Detroit keeps losing like this, both Cleveland and Houston could finish ahead of them, and Detroit could miss the playoffs entirely. And Cleveland at one point was 15.5 back. There are a couple teams who have been 14.5. No one's ever come back at any point in a baseball season down 15.5 and won the division.
And I don't know if you caught this yesterday, because I don't know how much all of you watch pregame shows, and certainly I don't know how many of you watch this pregame show. David even gave me a heads up, and I wasn't paying attention because I still didn't watch the pregame shows and remembered very late to turn it on. But if you were paying attention, at noon yesterday, you caught this.
You are looking live at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It's a battle of backup quarterbacks. Jake Browning for the Bengals, Carson Wentz for the Vikings. Both teams hoping they can deliver. And now live from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the Patriots chase back-to-back wins for the first time in 3 years, while the Steelers look to rebound after last week's disappointing loss. And live from Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, where the winless Texans faced a must-win to save their season, and the Jaguars seek to end a 7-year home losing streak against their division rivals. And also live from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where Indiana Jones and the Colts look to stay perfect against the Titans and rookie passer Cam Ward, who is still searching for his first NFL win.
For those of us of a certain age, that was the historic Brent Musburger and the NFL Today from back in the day. It was 50 years ago, Sunday, yesterday, that the NFL Today was live, half hour, and it wasn't until November of that year that they started doing that with Brent going, "You are looking live." Did you hear the story? He told I had never heard this story before. But then again, I didn't read Rich Podolsky's book titled "You Are Looking Live." It probably was in the book. Brent told, CBS did a lot of publicity with this. They got their own pre-game shows. Brent did a lot of interviews over the weekend. He told the story about how it came about. His old producer and director, one of them was a big gambler, or friends of his were big gamblers, and they wanted to know the weather. Remember, pre-Weather Channel, pre-internet, and they wanted to know the weather. Is there any way that we could? And Brent goes, we don't have time to do the weather. And then Brent said, well, is there any way we can do a live look-in for 5 seconds? Okay, and I guess they did it once. Okay, and the director's friend, the big gambler, raved about it, said, oh my goodness, that was great. I think it was in Chicago in November. And so they just decided, well, heck, let's just do it with, a bunch of the games. And that's how You Are Looking Live came about.
Obviously, the attire that the crew was wearing was sensational. And the fact, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised because and I don't know if Bill Cowher's still dating the gal who's in the rock band.
I think they're married.
They're married now? Okay.
I think.
But I mean, I remember after his wife passed and he started seeing this woman, a picture came out of him at like one of her shows where he was dressed to go to a rock concert. So I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but to see Cowher wearing the outfit that he had on, that caught me by surprise. JB looked fantastic.
Now, I will say there were some in our chat room who thought that they then turned it into a Halloween show, and they thought they went too far, okay, with the trying to look like the mid-70s and 50 years ago. JB, how could you not? If for those that didn't see it, you got to go to social media, go to X, find James Brown and what he did with his hair yesterday.
It was very Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction-esque to me.
In fact, do you think Samuel L. was watching somewhere and he said, man, I don't know, that's some big-ass hair right there.
Right. That was fantastic. It was very good. I caught the end of it. Good on them to honor the 50th anniversary, having Brent on set. It was good.
And they changed their set to look as much as they could like what it looked like 50 years ago. I don't know how many of you saw it. It used to be Brent and Jimmy the Greek standing on the board, and Jimmy would do the checks as the coaches, offense, defense, special teams, intangibles, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
As a lot of video were coming out from the day of that, the one that I caught over the weekend that made me laugh the hardest was when Jimmy the Greek was sick or some reason had to miss the show one week. And instead of Jimmy the Greek doing the picks on the air with
Mark,
Brent
who was it?
Who was it? It was Pete Rose.
Yes, it was. And it was like Pete Rose in 1979-80.
Right.
He's still very much an active player.
Right. And Pete literally saying things like, that's the best bet of the day, Brent. Yes. And I mean, breaking down, his knowledge of it was perfect.
Yes.
I watched the whole segment, and you look back at what Rose was saying, to think they that he got away with doing that, not getting any grief from Major League Baseball is amazing to me.
Well, and also it showed that everybody in sports knew that Pete was a big bettor.
Right. I mean, think about it. Their handicapper, Jimmy the Greek Snyder, is off for the week. They could get anybody. And they go Pete Rose.
Because the baseball season was over and they knew Pete was betting on the games.
But for those of you that weren't old enough to remember any of the NFL today, all I will tell you was, to me, the best part, when you looked at the graphics, did you cringe a little bit and go, God, that's awful animation. God, those graphics are horrible. Well, that's what we had for most of our lives.
Tell you what, though, the screen seemed much bigger, right? The graphics took up so much less room. I think there are some people that liked it. They're like, I don't know, I kind of like the old graphics. I mean, they're not as easy to see, but once I adjust to them, I I get what they're saying just fine. By the way, was it telling also that back in the mid-70s, we had an attractive woman on the show, and here we are 50 years later, and we don't? Find that? Nobody? No? Okay.
It's a great point. No, it's a great. Now they're just, but they didn't have sideline reporters there, so we've moved the good-looking woman from the pregame show to the sideline reporter.
But it is fun. I mean, how groundbreaking that show was 50 years ago. I mean, it shows even today, there's not a single pregame show that's even got a woman on it. Miller and Moulton. Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports, in the Doubletree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Well, I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring. Best service at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
This is Miller and Moulton.
Oh, and Costas. I don't remember Cricky in the studio. I remember Brian Gumbar. I remember Costas. Logic Man, I'm impressed you could.
Wow, am I an idiot?
Well, what happened?
Because I literally thought that was the end of the hour, and I started doing the podcast, and there's only 38 minutes there, and I'm freaking out why it's not there. And then proceeded to delete the file. So, all right. I can get it. I'm not worried. I can get it from the log thing, but just an out-of-body experience there.
Of course we have, Bally. Multiple times.
No, not at all. Didn't bring it up.
No, and we're in Jacksonville, Tampa, Southwest Florida. I mean, why would we bring up the Canes and the Gators? Well, they also had Pete Axtell for a while. Who died young. I think he's my age, like 59, I think, when Axe died.
That is, what the heck is the matter with me? Michael, other than one constantly attacks me, there's really no difference.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes until the top of the hour. Miller and Moulton. MillerandMoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. 4 different poll questions. Best win Saturday, worst loss. Best win Sunday, worst loss. Chime in accordingly. 21,000 on the text line. You haven't texted in a while, or you've never texted, and you want to comment about life and the pursuit of happiness, you need to type in the keyword Miller to 21,000. Then you're through the internet security gate, and all is good after that. Couple of things just want to throw out there that we haven't get to, and then we'll get back to some of the other stuff. Last night was the last Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Barring contract negotiations going very differently than what has been widely reported, 35 years Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Last night was the last one. And game day is not going to Athens this Saturday for Alabama at Georgia. They're going to Happy Valley for Oregon at Penn State.
Wow. I mean, it's a bigger game. It is, but leaving the SEC
for the Big Ten.
Right.
I give them a lot of credit. That's what they said when they lost the rights to the Big Ten. They said, hey, game day is not going to discriminate. We're going to go where the best game is, blah, blah, blah.
Are they planning on making it to Athens in November when Texas visits? Because I'm looking at the Georgia schedule trying to figure out, right? I mean, because Georgia, if they beat Alabama, and I got a tough schedule, but the Dogs are a top 5 team and deserve to be there.
Right.
So,
yeah. So just pointing it out. Last Sunday Night Baseball. Now we're led to believe that, the NBC, I think, Peacock, some combination of the two are going to have Sunday Night Baseball next year. But for ESPN, the end of Sunday Night Baseball, and for some of us, that's what, John Miller, Joe Morgan back in the day for the longest time. And so there you have it.
All right. We've talked a lot about this during the course of the day. Miami's impressive win over Florida. You and I both think that Miami should be ranked the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anyone that has a better resume right now. Yeah, you could say Ohio State's got the best win in the country.
Maybe.
All right. But,
the way Texas has played, I think Miami's win over Notre Dame is a better win than Ohio State's win over Texas. I do.
Okay. But this is the power of preseason polling, ranking. Miami had to come from where? 10 in both polls. By the way, they've only made it up to 6 in the coaches poll. Thank goodness those guys. Remember, the coaches poll used to be one of the 3 formulas in the BCS. It was coaches poll, media poll, computer. Thank goodness we got rid of the coaches.
And now with the Canes a couple of weeks away from going to Tallahassee, which looks like a far more daunting task than it did in August.
Sure does. Just need the
And
Noles.
who knows what the Noles have for Miami a week from Saturday. I will say this, as it was pointed out on the Pelican Roofing of Florida text line, and I had to double check. It ain't going to be cheap if you want to go. Currently, the cheapest ticket in the secondary market for Miami at Florida State, as of this morning, is $441.
Now we're talking. There we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Now we're talking. Dennis Erickson and Bobby. Butch Davis and Bobby. There we go. Jimmy and Bobby. And now we're talking. Yeah.
So basically, you're $900 for you and a guest to get in the door. And I don't see the prices dropping a whole hell of a lot.
And good luck getting a hotel room draw an hour circle. Good luck. You may want to get a hotel room. Try Lake City Live Oak and drive the 100 miles. Okay. Good luck. It's I-10 West. No biggie. Oh, yeah. Now this is when we just want the Gators to also, we can't see. Hey, even UCF had a nice win. They were on national TV and everything. They kicked Belichick's butt. South Florida's holding up their end of the bargain. UCF under Scott Frost. What? He's undefeated, isn't he? So when's the last time he lost a game at UCF?
Well played, David. By the way, this Bill Belichick experiment at North Carolina is going really well.
And by really well, we mean not really. However, I did not realize this. You remember before the season started and Bud Elliott and a few of his folks at 24/7 and what have you, and they did over-unders. And when they did the ACC over-unders, North Carolina's was 7.5. And I said to you, do you know that all 4 guys, it was Cannell, it was Bud, and it was 2 others, they all went over on North Carolina. They all think North Carolina is going to win a minimum of 8 games. We didn't really dive into it as to why. I saw this over the weekend. Mark, North Carolina does not play Miami, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, or SMU. They play Clemson, okay?
That doesn't look like it's as tough of a game as it was a month ago.
Right. And then I hope Syracuse, I guess we have to hope Syracuse isn't on their schedule. I mean, what? Duke, who just handled NC State? But Mark, you got to be honest. Florida State, Miami, Georgia Tech, Louisville, SMU. In most preseason polls, that was at least 4 of the top 5. Clemson at the top.
Yeah, there couldn't be an easier schedule than what North Carolina has.
This
but
could be.
I don't know if they can score, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. So, but just keep that in mind if by chance they
it's
turn
either
it around.
Syracuse, they have Clemson. Outside of that, Syracuse or Duke is the toughest game left on their schedule, David.
Right. I just saying, if by chance he and they can get it together, they got a schedule, is what I'm saying. And remember that, have they played a conference game yet? I mean, all of this, they got whacked by TCU, they get whacked by UCF. That doesn't count. If you know what I mean.
No,
I mean, not
all
Charlotte.
conference games left,
right?
And none of them seem to be that difficult.
So
by the way, when does Dabo do his weekly presser?
I thought it was Tuesdays.
I need to set an alert on my phone for when that is to watch.
Well, he was crying during the alma mater being sung after the game, and when asked about it, he said, I mean, his quote, if you were not on Dabo's side, if you were one of the Clemson people that want him gone, all right, I got to admit, what he said post-game had to tug at you a little bit. He said, yeah, I'm emotional. Yeah, this hurts. I've given 23 years of my life here. Okay. You know, and he goes, yeah, this means everything to me. You know, sports wise, he's talked obviously what, you know, his faith and his family, he's talked about length, but I mean, his post-game quote, I got to admit, you could be a really hard line, I'm done with Dabo Clemson guy. You saw that post-game quote, and you got to be saying, well, I don't know if we can get a coach that cares about this place more than him. Man.
$60 million to buy him out. Stop it.
That's another thing.
$60 million. That's the first thing I would say. But I have a guy that's pretty dialed into Clemson with a lot of their big money boosters. And he said to me on Saturday or on Sunday when we were going back and forth that 50% of them want him gone, 50% want to give him a lifetime contract. For what it's worth. But back to the Canes for a minute here. A couple of questions I have for all of you that, you know, like to get those two thumbs together and extend your index fingers up and let everybody know you're a fan of the U. You haven't been that loud yet, and I'm impressed by that. I really am. You are rolling. Good wins, really good wins. We think you should be the number one team in the country. If we were doing a poll, if David and I were filling out polls, we'd both have you number one. I wonder how many of you are so nervous because of whether it's the Syracuse game last year, whether it's not kneeling down against Georgia Tech. You know what I'm getting at.
Yep.
The Mario factor.
Yep.
Because the hole in the team a year ago was their defense. Their defense has been terrific. The defensive line has some studs on it. I mean, some guys that you look at and you're wiping your eyes going, is this 2001 or is this 2025? Beck was okay against Florida. I didn't love the play calling in the game. Thought that they let Florida hang around and give the Gator defense credit. We've said for weeks that the Gator defense is really good. They are. I mean, they've held every opponent to under 20. Yes, I know that LSU got to 20. There was a pick six there. That's not the D's fault. But the Canes fan is a certain type of fan. And by a certain type of fan, Florida fans sometimes look at him and goes, wow, they're obnoxious. And I've not seen that yet out of the Canes fans. Good. So are you nervous? Are you waiting to beat Florida State before you go completely nuts?
Oh, you're getting there, Mark. You're getting there. You're getting there. That's number one. Number two is, hey, we've done different variations of this over the last 20-something years. Remember Mark Richt 8 years ago had us 10-0, number two in the country. You know, so that's why I think the Canes fan who's got a little bit of a memory, they're like, listen, 2005, we were number 3 in the country late in the year. We screwed that up, okay? I mean, they're like, we've been down this road before. We've been back like 6 different times, okay? We're just going to keep it all, Fossey, keep it all on the inside.
Right. I'm talking about Miami fan here.
I
mean,
know.
keeping it all on the inside isn't really part of their DNA.
All right, here, I'll give it to you. I don't think they keep it all on the inside if it'll start to explode if they beat the Noles. But Mark, 6 days later, Louisville comes to town on a Friday.
They got a week off.
Oh, well, then it'll explode after.
They got a week off.
So they've got a bye week, Florida State, and a bye week?
Yes. As a matter of fact, they do.
Oh, my. Oh, no. Then after the Noles game, it'll there we go.
Because they
like
go to SMU, and the SMU that I see is not very good this year. Now, TCU may be a little better than advertised.
Yeah.
But because they're undefeated in the Big 12 right now, so don't rule out the Horned Frogs just yet.
No, they got a big game this week, actually.
But SMU, who some people had being a top 3 team in that conference, does not look like a top 3 team in that conference.
Well, Mark, it wasn't some people. It was all the preseason polling done by the median coaches in that conference. The preseason top 3 was Clemson, Miami, SMU. And then it was Louisville, Georgia Tech, Pitt, some, hodgepodge of the rest as to who you thought the sleeper was going to be. But, yeah, that was the big 3 in the conference. All ranked, I think, preseason top 15. Yeah.
Pelican Roofing of Florida text line. We could blow it at any moment.
See? But
that's a nervous fan right there.
Yeah. It's 20-something years, Mark.
I get
it. But it'll be really difficult if they're undefeated after Florida State, having beaten South Florida, and Florida State, Notre Dame. I mean, it'll be tough. They'll have another week to think about how good we are. It'll be tough. It'll be really tough to have them restrained. You and I know a bunch of Canes fans. One of them used to be a big sponsor of this show. He's keeping it together. He won't if they beat the Noles.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Cortec. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available, delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Cortec. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 13325.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Michael, you didn't hear me. Once again, sometimes you guys don't listen. What I said when you said I'm not the other guy, I said the only difference is that you don't attack me. The exact words I used. And then you spent the rest of the time saying how you didn't attack me. It's exactly what I said. But other than that, it's no different about how you chat. It's your team, 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 no matter what anybody else is talking about. That's why I gave Puck a hard time earlier, because he was doing the same thing. He even admitted it. We appreciate every single person who listens to this show, but sometimes listening isn't our best skill, and that's all of us. We're all guilty of it. By the way, how hard was Michael Irvin sweating during that game? He and I could go through some shirts.
I think he may beat you.
I don't know.
I know.
You saw me Friday on the golf course. I've not been working out as much, so at all really. So usually I get my walk in and kind of let it all out. Man, I was hot Friday. It was warm. What a great round of golf I had Friday. I mean, I played okay, but just play. It was a threesome. It was two great guys. We all play fast. There was nobody complained about it. Just the one guy's the salt of the earth, one of the nicest people I know. Other guy's a good dude. We just had a great 3 hours and 40 minutes. By the way, the key there, David, is 3 hours and 40 minutes.
There you go. Thanks for playing.
It was great. Just one of those rounds. All three of us after, like, how much fun was this?
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It's the bonus hour of Miller and Moulton.
It's not just the bonus hour. It's the Diamond District bonus hour again.
Oh, nice you guys to be back. Way to go.
We missed.
I wonder if it's because the one guy's an Ohio State fan and the other guy's a Canes fan. Oh, they're the top two teams in the country, according to the AP. So you're feeling good about life in the pursuit of happiness again, are you? Okay, I see how this works. Gotcha. Nice to have you back, boys.
By the way, probably should have done this opening the show because that is the baseball hour. But did you catch the post game from the Angels game?
You talking Saturday when Trout homered?
Trout homered number 400, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the fan who got the ball, of course, they want the ball back. And he obliged. And he got his stuff and his bats and his autographs. But as he's talking to Trout, he looks at him and he's like, hey, and they're in the dugout. And he's like, would you mind if we do a little? And he makes the gesture of throwing. And Trout says, sure. And they walked out onto the field and had a game of catch. That's what the guy wanted. I want to have a game of catch with you, Mike Trout. And Mike Trout said, what the hell? And did it. That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
That is just flat out awesome.
Good for both of them.
Absolutely. The bad part is in the middle of the game of catch, that woman from Philadelphia ran onto the field, caught the ball, and took off.
Help me, correct me. She hasn't been identified yet, has she?
How? I don't know.
It's remarkable. Are we going to have to get the FBI on this?
No, I actually, believe it or not, I'm glad they haven't.
Okay.
I mean, she's been humiliated enough. We don't have to ruin everyone's life in their worst moment. Maybe that's not her worst moment, but it's got to be top 5, and it was all caught on television.
I still like the school district. For those that don't know, anyway, this woman, you've got to know the story by now, but anyway, she was all mad. She didn't get the foul ball. She's screaming and yelling at the dad who got the ball and gave it to his son. How dare he? The kid was like, what, 9? You know, how dare you want to give your son the baseball? By the way, you're at a ball game. Whoever gets the ball, finders keepers.
Yes.
Right. Okay. She somehow didn't play that as a kid. Anyway, screaming and yelling, blah, blah, blah. So somebody posts like the next day that she works in the such and such school district in Jersey. The school district, before the day was over, released a statement that said, this person does not work in the school district. This person has never worked in the school district. And besides, okay, if it was someone from this school district, we would have caught the foul ball in the first place.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Whether they were a student or an employee, we would have caught the ball.
Right. That's my favorite. We don't know who this person is, but we're going to slam her anyway. Right. Outstanding.
We will get into it more later in the week, but I do love the fact that Rory chirped a little bit towards Bryson again. This is going to be so ugly come Friday.
Are you saying that you think the Ryder Cup at Bethpage is going to get nasty?
Like nothing we've ever seen in the sport before.
Hold on a second. This is going to be more intense than the war at the shore in 91?
David, I'm telling you, I can't wait. I am so... If you have me for the show on Friday, be thankful, because the moment they tee off, I'm glued to this.
So I have to take a look at the first tee time. I mean, well, Oh, they got to play.
Oh, they play 36, so they'll be going around 8 a.m.
Yeah, man. So I'll be lucky to get half a show out of you, won't I? Well, we have Pat at 8, so I can just talk to Pat. That'll give you 2 segments. All right, we will have done our picks already. So I mean, come to think of it, I could probably do it without you. I don't want
we may have to get here early so I can tape the last segment.
That'd be great. Sure. It'd be like the old days when we used to tape the 5 o'clock hour. We used to tape it at 1 p.m. on Friday. Okay. And so we'd leave at 4:55 on Friday. We'd be driving home. And the 5 o'clock hour would be playing on the radio. It's already been taped. We had our picks. We interviewed Pat. We had our picks. We were done. Pat had to tape because he had his own afternoon drive show. So, we used to tape our 5 o'clock hour on Friday and be done with it.
I mean, I'm looking at the Sunday 1 o'clock games. We've got Eagles and Bucks. That's a big one.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, there's not a lot on the 1 o'clock schedule that, is, to me, must watch.
So, in other words, Eagles, Bucks, and then Ryder Cup. Is that what you're saying?
And Ryder Cup will get the sound. I'm telling you right now. I am so looking forward to this.
I will say someone made a suggestion late last week, and I agree with them. And I had never taken this into consideration, Mark. Maybe you had. So the Ryder Cup is, I guess, a blind draw when it comes to singles. Okay. That you don't. But the President's Cup, you pair them up. Okay, they
would make for better TV after the day on Saturday if they had a little show and said, "I'm going," the Europeans start and say we're starting with this guy, and the Americans say, "Okay, I'll counter with this guy."
Well, it'd be an amazing 30 minutes, absolutely, to actually show it live,
absolutely.
But that was the suggestion that you could actually make the Ryder Cup better if for singles. If they did it like they do in the President's Cup, which apparently you pick, then I pick, but each team knows who they're picking. Okay, as opposed to just submitting your list. Okay, and then you look and you go, oh, wow, Rory's matched up with, because
don't they just submit their 1 through 12 each and whatever it is they're
in the order that they want them, and so then the other team does it, but neither side knows how the other is doing their list. Okay, and the suggestion was to do it like the President's Cup, in which it's you pick, you're going to send Scheffler off. Well, then we're doing Rory. Okay, which way you want to play this. And this person even suggested for the sake of the TV show.
Right.
Shouldn't you pair Scotty and Rory up against each other on Sunday? I mean, and he even said, I know you can't arrange it, but actually you kind of could, that Keegan and Luke could kind of get together, nod, nod, wink, wink. Where are you putting Scotty? I'll make sure to put Rory there.
Oh, goodness gracious. If anybody ever found that, it would be like people would lose their minds if there was some sort of conspiracy to make that happen. But I can't wait for Friday. I'm fired up. 4:25, we get Ravens and Chiefs. So that's the feature game on Sunday afternoon. And then the Cowboys play Sunday Night Football, so there's no real reason to watch. I feel badly for all of you that don't have the ticket and were stuck watching Bears and Cowboys yesterday. The Cowboys, we know the reason why, but they get all of these primetime slots. They get all these 4:25 slots, and they're not worth putting on television. And I don't really know what NBC was thinking getting, or whatever, the Chiefs. And I know the Giants. It's New York. It's a big market, and we get all that. That game was damn near unwatchable last night.
But I'll say this. The networks don't have a say in the schedule. Okay? I mean, it's not like NBC said – now –
But the Giants getting a Sunday night game at any point is ridiculous. We knew this wasn't going to be a good football team. What the hell are we doing putting the New York Giants on Sunday night?
Well, they didn't. They put the Chiefs. That's what they did there. That's their way of saying to NBC, hey, sorry, we're giving you the Giants. At least we're giving you the Chiefs. So we're giving you the Chiefs in the New York market. It should rate. I mean, that's all the NFL's trying to do. Okay, they're trying to give Amazon a rating. They're trying to give NBC a rating. They're trying to give ABC on Monday night a rating, and they're trying to give you who's got the 425 game this week. Fox, we'll give you Cowboys Bears. They're like, hell, we'll take that. We don't care.
And the NFL always delivers, and I know we're kind of looking back before we look forward, but I mean, just look at this week quickly. Your Thursday night game, Seattle and Arizona. Ooh, can't wait for that. The Steelers and Vikings get the Sunday morning NFL Network game in Dublin. You know, Philly, and 2 weeks in a row, the Eagles at 1:00.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Eagles and Rams, 1:00 this past week.
Yep. Kind of like old times. Eagles fans like, I'm loving this.
As long as they live in the greater Philadelphia area.
Right.
If they're down here, they were at a sports bar. They had to buy the ticket to watch the game.
Nothing wrong with going to Shoeless Joe's. All right. Checking the game out. Do what you got to do.
I will say, sneaky game. Colts at Rams. It's a 4:05 slot. It's not getting the national game, but that's already a sneaky good game.
All right. So which nickname are you going with? Are you staying with Danny Dimes, which was the one he got early on in his career, or now that he and the Colts are 3-0, he's Indiana Jones? Which one you going with?
It's Danny Dimes. I love Indiana Jones. I do. And it would be great if somehow they beat the Rams in the next home game. He dresses as Indiana Jones coming into the place.
And does Jonathan Stewart and a couple of the others dress as the Temple of Doom? I mean, how are we doing this?
I don't know. I just want to see Danny Dimes with the whip on his hip as he walks into the stadium. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Talk about a guy who looks like, I mean, literally, if you line 30 people up, he'd be one of the three in which you go, yeah, no personality. I mean, so if he did it, it'd be amazing. That could be a poll question. We're going with Danny Dimes or Indiana Jones?
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring. Best service at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 13325.
This is Miller and Moulton.
So you know, David, that I never pay attention to high school football around here. Never have, don't know if I ever will.
Right.
But somehow, I have a TikTok problem, everybody. I will scroll occasionally. I get a TikTok video that comes on my screen about this kid from Cypress Lake High School. And I'm like, is this Cypress? Like, when I'm, because it's the guy, Cypress Lake, a school in Florida. Like, so I'm like, they've got this lineman that's like 5'8", 260.
Okay.
And they had beaten somebody they had never beaten in forever. They just got done beating Fort Myers.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks ago, Cypress Lake beat Fort Myers for the first time in forever. And if I check the scores right, they played Riverdale this week, who apparently is one of the better teams in the area, and they beat Riverdale. David, you did high school sports for a lot of years. Cypress Lake was never good, were they?
Rich Dombrowski 20 plus years ago had them 8-3, 7-4 type that. No. In fact, the problem with Cypress Lake was they'd get a couple good players and people would steal them.
Right.
J-Ron Curse, I think, went from Cypress Lake to South Fort Myers. Okay. You know what? We talked about this a long time ago. I don't know if you'll remember. Cypress Lake, though, was winning all of the pre-high school youth football titles 15, 20 years ago. Seriously, the Cypress Lake, pre-teens and very early teens, they were winning the championships. And I remember thinking, well, then how come when they go across the street to the school, why are they not? And
I don't know if it's with high school, but the school choice thing isn't as prevalent. I don't even know if you can do it anymore. And I don't pay attention. So I'm not trying to speak like an expert or even anywhere close to it. But they've kind of gone back to you go to school where you live stuff.
Oh, wow. Imagine
what a concept.
I know. But yeah, Buried in Bourbon. I used to say it because my daughter was a cheerleader and she was cheering for her school's youth team. And so we'd run into Cypress Lake and they just destroyed people. And I remember talking to the coaches and he's like, yeah, well, getting them to go from this side of the street to that side of the street, that becomes a problem. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, everybody's plucking our kids. Because they literally played on the field across the street from the school.
Right. Which I've got to try that barbecue joint that's down there. I don't know if anybody's done that. It's a barbecue joint on Cypress Lake going towards McGregor. That is, they've got like 3 locations. 2 are in North Carolina and 1's here. That interests me. Yeah, is it? Okay.
Yes, Buried in Bourbon. They're known for their arts and theater. Yeah.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. About 15 or so minutes away from Good, Bad, and Ugly. What's on tap today was the day when. Some final thoughts, a pick or two. We do have Lions and Ravens coming up on Monday Night Football, huh? That's not bad, right? Detroit and Baltimore. I mean, heading into this weekend.
Would you take the points? I know you're working the game. I know it sounds exciting. But as we pointed out on Friday when Pat was on the show, Lamar is 24-2 against the NFC. 24-2.
Right.
These two teams last played 2 years ago, I believe, and Baltimore humiliated Detroit.
Yes, they did.
Humiliated them.
Right.
This defense from Detroit doesn't look that much different than the one Lamar carved up. Like, I think Detroit's defense thus far has been bad. I don't think it's any better. Hutch isn't getting to the quarterback. They didn't give him any help on the defensive line. Their linebackers are and their defensive backs are suspect. Explain to me, unless Detroit's going to score in the 40s or at least in the 30s, how they keep up.
Well,
like, I don't.
Did you see the Ravens' defense against the Bills? I mean,
did.
Couldn't this just be a old-fashioned 35-31 type game?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so for Detroit's sake and for all of us that are going to watch.
I mean, the Lions beat the Bears and the Ravens beat the Browns. You know, we're not talking about two juggernauts here. I know they both won this weekend, but come on now. Nobody thinks either one's a really good team. So, now listen, how, and I think you feel the same way. I mean, I picked Baltimore to win the Super Bowl. This is my Super Bowl, by the way. I picked it last year. I went with it again this year. I have Baltimore beating the Lions in the Super Bowl. This is my Super Bowl. I think the Ravens have the best roster in the league. Period. End of sentence. And when they lost week 1 to the Bills, I said, well, now they're going to have to go to Buffalo to win the AFC title game.
I think all of us, after watching the game between the Bills and the Ravens, if they lined up again, I don't think anybody would have been surprised to see Baltimore win that game.
So, we'll get into it a little bit more next segment. Early on, I got a couple of factoids for you besides 24-2 I want to throw at you. Can I throw these factoids at you?
Yes.
Got 6 3-0 teams. Tell me if there's a team of this group that you're going to get off the bandwagon here pretty quickly. Or are you like, oh, no, they're all going to the playoffs. It's just a matter in what form. Bucks, Eagles, Niners in the NFC.
Had them all winning their divisions.
Bucks and Niners, already a ton of injuries for both. The Niners just went back-to-back games with a backup quarterback. Bosa's hurt. They have no wide receivers that are healthy. You got to give them credit. They don't look great. They won their 2 division games, 17-13 and 16-15. But, man, they deserve a lot of credit because in the league, this ain't college. There's no style points here. It's wins or losses. The Niners deserve a lot of credit for being 3-0. AFC, Colts.
Well, I'm not jumping off the Colts bandwagon. With as bad as Houston looks.
Okay,
well, come on. Houston's 0-3. Jacksonville, I know they're 2-1, but they're not impressing me right now.
Even though they should be 3-0, but I
should
get
be.
you.
That's part of the reason. They barely got away with it yesterday.
I paused because you were not picking the Colts to make the playoffs before the season started. I was the one that did, so I was just waiting. Remember, the game is, are you jumping off the wagon soon? That you think
I am buying tickets for the Colts bandwagon.
All right. Once again, coming up later in the week, is he Danny Dimes or is he Indiana Jones? Chargers. You're Chargers. You're Chargers.
Yeah.
You're Chargers.
He's
You're
pretty
back.
good. He's
You're
pretty
back.
good.
You're back, aren't you?
I had him as a playoff team.
You did. You did.
I did not have them winning the division, but I had them as a playoff team.
But you're inching closer. For those that don't know, if you're fairly new to the show, 3-4 years ago, especially, but definitely 5, 6, 7 years ago. Mark's got a thing. You know how that pretty girl that's been in your life, whether it's high school, college, work, whatever, okay, and you're never going to have the relationship, but when you see her, you have a thing for her. Mark has a thing for the Chargers. He does.
Yep. I'd say the name from back in high school, but there are a few of my friends that listen and it will get back to her.
Right.
And I'm not allowing that to happen.
Here's how Mark refers to whoever those women are. He just refers to them as San Diego. That's Mark going back.
Yep.
Okay. Because it could be any era. It could be high school. It could be college. It could be before he met his wife. Whatever. If you say San Diego, it covers all of it.
In fact, David, I actually thought this morning of opening the show with San Diego Superchargers.
So just so you know, he's got a thing.
Yep. No.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Right.
Guilty.
All right. The Chargers are to Mark what Noreen Ziegler was to me. He's got a thing. We won't even get into the Elizabeth Shue thing. That's just,
That's just, now that's dirt. That's not even fair.
And the Bills. So we got Bucks, Eagles, Niners in the NFC, Colts, Chargers, Bills in the AFC. Is anybody right now jumping off of their any of their bandwagons, or are you all committing right now, like I did when the Tigers had that 13.5 game lead on the Royals and 15.5 on the Guardians, and I already put their name on the claret jug. Oh, the 2025 Detroit Tigers are Jean Van de Velde, 1999. It's over.
Put it this way. The only two that I would consider are the Niners because of the injuries, and Seattle's a little better than I thought they were, and I like the Rams a lot. And the Bucks, who I have going to the Super Bowl to lose to the Bills. But man, oh man, how many more injuries can the Bucks afford to take?
Well, Mark, they're in the NFC South, so they could even afford a few more than you think. But I know what you're
because
saying.
after Carolina whooped up on Atlanta now 2 losses in the division.
Now, quickly, any of these 0-3 teams that you think still have a pulse, and by a pulse, I mean in December they'll be playing meaningful football, still have a chance to make the playoffs. Dolphins, Jets, Titans, Saints, Giants, Texans.
Something's wrong with the Texans.
Yeah, it's their offensive line.
Yes.
And they blamed Bobby Slowak, the offensive coordinator, and they fired him. And it turns out, and then they traded Tunsil and got rid of a couple guys. And guess what, Mark? You know what the problem still is?
The offensive line.
Thank you, Mark.
They can't run the ball. They have a bad offensive line, and I don't think Chubb's that, he's serviceable, but he's not breaking away from anybody. They have one receiver.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They have no weapon in the backfield. Dalton Schultz, a decent tight end. I don't know why they're not using their tight ends more.
But outside of one completely blown coverage by Jacksonville, they did nothing against the Jags yesterday. Not a damn thing. And they had field position in the game early.
And remember, they got back in the Bucks game on Monday night. They returned a punt inside the red zone, and they blocked the field goal or blocked the punt. Okay, I mean, that's how they got their 2 second-half scores to come from 14-10 down and take the lead. Special teams put the points on the board, not the offense.
The defense is still a top 3rd defense in the league.
Absolutely,
Houston can play defense.
Absolutely. But
you hear all the time complimentary football. Well, there's no compliments on the offense.
Colts are 3-0. Colts are 3-0. Jags are 2-1. Can the Texans at 0-3 get back in this?
Besides the sales experience at the Diamond District, we offer a litany of other services. Appraisals.
We have 2 GIA certified gemologists, full-time, servicing your needs with appraisals.
We buy gold, diamonds, gemstones, Rolex watches, repairs.
We have 3 full-time master bench jewelers.
A beautiful custom design department so that we can give you one-of-a-kind jewelry. Come see Jason and Todd for that condition.
For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or nolanagency.com.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
This
sound.
is Miller and Moulton.
He had a spectacular breakup of a pass. I mean, he had a huge defensive play in that game. I know you want him to be the same thing as Colorado two-way player, but this is the NFL, Michael. I mean, if it wasn't the game-saving defensive play, it was one of the 3 at the end. I mean, it was a huge play. Yes, they are, Adam. And believe it or not, they're the furthest thing from self-produced because I deal with the agency, which is interesting. And they sent me 2 TV commercials to run for radio. So that Chris Vanani, I think that's how you say his name.
Vanini, I think.
Vanini, okay. But he ranks every team 1 to 136 or whatever it is.
Right.
He goes Ohio State, Miami, Oklahoma, Florida State.
What's he got again?
Ohio State, Miami, Oklahoma, Florida State.
Okay.
I mean, right. Then it's Georgia, LSU, A&M. He has Texas at 8. I don't get that, but yeah, South Florida, 25. Good for you, dude. Illinois, 30.
Does he still have Auburn ranked? Because that's the one. I don't know how you.
Yeah, he has him
Auburn.
at 21.
Yeah, good for him. I don't know how you drop him a spot for losing by 7 at Oklahoma. I'd raise him 3 or 4.
He's got him 1 spot ahead of Michigan. I mean, that's
Right.
fair. They both went to Oklahoma. Auburn played him tougher.
Right. Sounds like a guy who's paying attention, Mark.
Yeah. That's watching multiple games. Not watching, not at a game 3 hours before it starts, covering it 2 hours after, and then asked to vote on the whole score.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. I got some Derrick Henry info that may interest you. Lions and Ravens, Baltimore favored by 4.5. We'll get to all of that in a moment, but first it's time for...
It's that time again, nearing the end, but not quite there yet. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
David, I wonder if this was the first ever trial balloon in politics, because it was today in 1862 that President Lincoln issues the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation.
Huh.
Because it wasn't until January 1 of 63 when it was actually issued.
Gotcha.
Today in 1911, Cy Young beats Pittsburgh 1-0, his final career victory, number 511.
511.
Right.
Who's going to be the next pitcher, okay, that gets halfway there, that gets to 256? I think Verlander's already there.
Yes.
But I don't even know if Scherzer's going to get there. I think Scherzer's in the 230s and Kershaw's retiring at 222.
The Tunney Dempsey rematch today in 27, the long count fight at Soldier Field. 104,943 people attended. Today in 69, Willie Mays becomes the second to get to 600 home runs.
I could be wrong. I thought he did it as a pinch hitter, and I thought he pinch hit for George Foster.
Today in 76, television changed for young men across the nation because Charlie's Angels premiered. I don't really need to say anything else if you're of a certain age. Family Ties debuted today in 82. The first Farm Aid concert was today in 85. Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and John Mellencamp organized it. Dylan, Tom Petty, Billy Joel, B.B. King among the performers.
Just 2 months after Live Aid, right?
Yeah. Today in 87, Full House made its premiere, and we thought Bob Saget was a really nice guy. And he was, but has had one of the worst mouths of any human that walked Earth.
Has anybody played a more straight-laced character on TV and then had a dirtier routine?
Right.
I guess you could argue Red Fox because he had to. I mean, he couldn't be.
Yes, but he still played a similar guy.
Yeah, he played a wise ass, right, who was snarky, but I mean, his routine was filthy.
For those of you who weren't born in 76, maybe it was today that television changed for you, because today in 89, the premiere of Baywatch on NBC. Andre Dawson steals base number 300 in his career today in 1990 and is the only player other than Mays to have 300 home runs, 300 steals, and 2,000 hits.
Yeah, Bonds would be very close behind him.
Let's see. Shula wins game 300 today in 91. Nolan Ryan pitches his last game at the age of 46 today in 93. Friends premiered today in 94. The West Wing premiered in 99. And 2.5 Men premiered today in 2003.
Have you seen the Charlie Sheen
Not yet.
documentary?
Yeah.
Apparently it's good.
Really good from what I've heard.
Yeah.
The wife wants to watch it with me, so I can't sit during the afternoon and watch it alone. Bob Lemon, Hall of Fame player and manager, Tommy Lasorda, Lute Olson, David Stern, and wrestler Ole Anderson would have all celebrated birthdays today. Tony Basil, you know, Mickey.
You're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
She's older than our mothers. She's 82 today.
Oh, come on.
No. She's 82.
So she was in her late 30s, close to 40 when she did that song?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Harold Carmichael is 76. David Coverdale from Whitesnake is 74. Joan Jett, 67. Vince Coleman is 64. Mike Richter, 59. And Carlos Correa is 31. What did I miss, David?
You couldn't pause after Richter? You couldn't give me a moment? No?
Sorry, I apologize.
Okay. I understand.
You've got Derrick Henry nuggets we've got to get to.
I do. But you want to do that now?
No.
Okay. Then no pausing for Richter. Let's go.
Time to see life a little bit differently. Here's Mark Miller with the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
We go to Virginia for the good. Carrie Edwards wasn't the big winner in the Powerball, but she won $150,000. And she did exactly what all of us would do after winning $150,000. She donated every single cent to 3 charitable causes, which she has been supportive of her whole life. It went to dementia research, food access, and support for military families. Wow. Good for you.
Wow. That's a really nice person.
Yes. For the bad, we go to Tampa, where the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officers at Tampa International Airport stopped a passenger who declared 10 cigars before officers searched a foil-wrapped duffel bag and found the human remains, including a skull in the baggage. The man told the officers the items were for rituals, but due to health risks, the items were seized and destroyed. And finally, the ugly, we go to Lake County, Florida, where it was ugly in a house because a bear wandered through the garage door, and then the door automatically shut behind the bear. The bear freaked out, went in the house, at which point the mother-in-law in the house starts screaming, "Bear in the house! Bear in the house!" Zeke Clark grabbed his gun after the bear made its way to a bathroom and shot the bear dead, saving the family. Not so good for the bear, good for the mother-in-law. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, Monday, September 22nd, here on Miller and Moulton.
All right. Maybe you'll find this fascinating. Maybe you'll be like, seriously? We waited for this? So one of the questions going on out there is, so how much more tread is on Derrick Henry's tires? Remember, he signed with the Ravens when he was 30, had obviously a tremendous year last year. And a lot of people are like, well, that's the last great year of his career. I mean, he's 31 now. Now he'll start to slow down. Mark, Derrick Henry is 30th on the all-time list for carries. 30. Do you know he's only carried the ball 54% of how many times Emmitt Smith carried the ball?
Wow.
That's how many times Emmitt Smith carried the ball during his career. I mean, yes, football was different then, but it's not like Derrick Henry's played on teams where he wasn't the featured back and he didn't carry a workload. And Emmitt's like, yeah, you're halfway to my career, dude. Keep going. But in terms of forget how old he is, let's just go by carries. I thought ESPN did something interesting here. They added 1,000 carries to Derrick Henry's total, which would then put him 6th on the all-time rushing list in terms of number of carries. Okay. They then broke down who the top 5 guys are, and they said, this is what he did. All these 5 running backs did after where Derrick Henry is now. Emmitt had 4 more 1,000-yard seasons, had 6 more seasons of 250 more carries. Walter Payton, 3 more years of 1,300 yards or more. 2 times he was first team All-Pro. And in those 3 years, he was top 6 in the MVP voting. Frank Gore carried the ball a lot, but only had 1 more 1,000-yard season. He was one of those guys you look at and you go, he kind of lost his burst once he got to 31. Curtis Martin only played 3 more years after where Derrick Henry is now. 2 of them were outstanding. 1,300 plus yards, nearly 1,700 plus yards. The 3rd year broke down, was done. Bettis rushed for 1,000 yards only 1 more time and only carried the ball 250 or more times 1 more time in his career before retiring, and he played 5 more years. So just in terms of how much life do you think Derrick Henry has post where he is now? Is he Frank Gore where he's going to slow down like tomorrow? Is he Curtis Martin where he's got 2 more big years and then in 2027 he's done? Is he Bettis where he plays 5 more years? He only has 1 really good year. And then there's Emmitt and Payton. And, well, it's why they're Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton.
You know, with you saying that, I would lean more towards the Curtis Martin type, because the one thing that he has going for him is that he has a quarterback that you have to be responsible for running the football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-2 punch that we've never seen before with quarterback and running back, unless you go to an option offense that Nebraska or Oklahoma were running back in the day. So I do think he can still be very productive because of how the offense works. And he's a large human that takes a lot to bring down. And tackling's never been worse in the league.
He's a big man with the football. Yes, he is. Only 3 baseball games tonight.
That means the Tigers won't lose because they don't play.
Nor the Mets. So it's a good day for those 2 fan bases. Brewers at Padres. Brewers' magic number to clinch the 1 seed, I think, is 3. Padres are 3 games behind the Dodgers, and the Dodgers on the tiebreak. San Diego, barring a Cubs collapse here, is seemingly locked into the 5 seed. No WNBA playoffs tonight, Mark. I know you're upset about that.
Oh, man.
Yep, going to have to wait till tomorrow for Indiana at Vegas and Phoenix at Minnesota. All right. Ravens down to 4.5. It's been as high as 6.5. We all know the status.
I would lay them all day long.
I'm curious how much 2 years ago plays into this. Okay, I'm curious. I mean, the Lions during this run have only been embarrassed one time. It was this team in this place 2 years ago. I mean, it was like 28-0 before the Lions had a first down 2 years ago. And I'm wondering, with the core of this team, with Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, Hutchinson, Gibbs, I'm just wondering, the core of this team, I'm wondering if that plays any role at all, and they're here to make a statement.
Well, I hope they come out swinging, and by that, I mean, and I know that they want Gibbs running the football. I want to see St. Brown early and often. I want to see them try to throw to run, if you know what I mean, to try to loosen this defense up by attacking this defense.
Well, good luck. Good luck. We know what Baltimore's going to do. They're going to run the football. They are going to run. They run the football on everybody. All right? And can you get them off the field on third down? They convert over 50% of their third downs. They're very difficult to get off the field. So.
You taking it or laying it?
It's tough not to pick the Ravens against the NFC. I mean, it's tough to bet into 24-2, isn't it?
Yes. It's very difficult. I hope you get a really competitive game. I hope it's 35-31. That would be terrific. But I've not seen enough out of Detroit's defense to make me a believer. And Baltimore typically doesn't give the ball away.
By the way, if you're looking big picture, don't you want to see how the Lions' run defense holds up tonight? Because you're going to play Philly in the playoffs, right? You might play Tampa in the playoffs. I mean, let's think beyond just the Ravens here. If you're looking at the Lions, the game within the game, you're going to face this from a couple of contenders in January, right?
And even whoever wins the West, whether it's the Rams or the Niners, they like to run it too.
So that to me is, I'm curious to see if their run defense can offer any resistance. Miller and Moulton. Pat Kerwin on the show tomorrow.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Exclusions apply. See your local Glass Doctor for details.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports in the Doubletree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers.
When you're craving the real taste of Chicago, there's only one name to know. Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
This is Miller and Moulton.
All right. I know you got a meeting to get to. Oh, let me get out of this.